not to shout in the beginning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream where we are doing more chatting for hours and hours. I do have my friend Peter and my friend, my mom bakes cakes. Both of these guys are from Australia and I'm in South Africa,
Yay!
as you guys know. So we'll be probably doing another Southern stream. How's it going, guys?
Great. On fire.
You first. Yeah, I'm good. I'm great, actually. Best I've been in ages.
We have
There
got
we
so
go.
much depth to share
There's the
with everyone on the
stream.
show today. So let's something down. Let's go from there. So it's been a week of hilarity. So we're looking forward to it. Are you there? She's gone off again.
I'm still here.
I'm
Right.
still here.
Yeah, no. Go for it. I wanted to talk about Flatzoid because yesterday, remember, we started talking about Flatzoid and I mentioned him and off I had to go. And I said 13 or 15 frames, but apparently it was more than that, where he cut out the actual part where that piece of equipment was going beyond the horizon. He cut out those parts and then put in the splash, where the thing splashed into the water. But obviously, we couldn't see the splash because that happened beyond the horizon. We only saw the after effects of it. And Flatzoid and he hasn't even apologized yet, guys. If you do
Good luck
something
with
wrong and you are caught, like if he wasn't caught, and so many different people caught him, even that other Australian guy, I don't know, I can't remember his name now. He always has his avatar upside down in his video. I can't remember his
Critical
name.
think.
Yes, he also went and frame by frame checked out that video according to Red's video. And those frames were missing, guys. And he didn't come and apologize. And I saw that he was on Modern Day Debate the other day. Who the hell what the hell is James thinking, allowing an absolutely deceitful person? And this grates my nerves because James apparently is supposed to be a Christian, right? So aren't you supposed to be denouncing these things?
Well, you would think so, but modern day debate. They've had quite a few flirfs on there, and I've seen a few of the shows, and it's like the flirfs come in. We've had Nathan on there, of course, and they go, "Okay, show me." And MC Toon does it all the time. Show me your evidence for flatness, and they just go quiet. They don't have anything.
Or they
Or
change
they
the
start
subject.
like insulting him. No, they insult him.
Yeah, correct.
I've heard them say so many bad things about so many people. And why do you I try, okay, I do mention people by name, but how else do you distinguish what one fluff is saying from the other fluff? So you have to mention them by name. But that's the one guy that was an MC Tune just told him straight, you are the devil, or you are working for the devil, or
Yeah,
and MC
correct, yeah.
Tune is a Christian himself. So they don't care how they go about attacking any problem. It's more like, I'm just gonna say whatever at the moment.
Well, the good thing is,
Shift the goalpost.
anytime a flirf like that gives you an argument or gives you a swear word or calls you any kind of name, you know you won because they don't have anything.
Uh, yeah. Like I was told that I'm going straight to hell because
Uh-huh.
I don't believe in the flat earth. Because according to the Bible, the earth is flat and stationary and immovable. It really does say immovable in the Bible.
Well, the thing
So
is
No, the
because
that
I
Bible
don't,
doesn't say that.
no, it doesn't say that. And again, which version of the Bible?
I don't
Because
know.
there's several different versions, right? There's the King James one is the most popular, right? And then you got the
Yeah,
one
I've
that
read
you
that.
find in hotel rooms, you know,
That's
whatever that was called.
Yeah,
Gibbs,
one
you know.
guy. Okay, one guy came into the shop, right? Just to go
oh
off on a
no.
tangent, and
Okay,
I asked him. I
Gideon's.
said, oh, he asked me, do I believe in God? And I just shrugged my shoulders, and he said,
Indians, that's the one.
well,
Yep.
I no, not in. This guy was a Christian. This guy's a Christian, and he full on believes, which this hurts me deeply, that he is a sinner and he needs saving. So I asked him, what makes you think that you are a sinner? He says, well, the Bible tells me that I'm a sinner, that I've, done all these bad things in my life. So I asked him, what have you done? And he said, well, I've murdered, I've, killed. I said, wow, like, what do you mean you killed somebody? He says, no, not physically, not like that, but I've smoked with people, I've drank with people, I've sworn, at people. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
really? Drinking and smoking and swearing are sins to you, where you deserve eternal damnation. Are you okay, uncle? Because I call him in Afrikaans, the uncle is Oom, so I call him Oom. Are you sure that this is what you are convinced of? And he said, yes. And for being a sinner, I deserve hell if God doesn't come to save me. So Christianity convinces you that you're a bad person and you need saving when God is supposed to be in charge of everything, guys, which means God is causing the suffering for you to go to Him to plead some grace. I I don't get it. Why you demean, human nature like that? It's not good. It's not good for being a human being. But that is so far off a tangent.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You can't tell me you're a sinner. There's right things and wrong things in context. And not all of us do the right things at the right times. Most of us do the wrong things at the wrong times. But that's just human nature. It's not like handed down to us from a God that we've got to do these wrong things and then get eternal punishment.
Mhm.
I don't know,
Yeah,
But
guys.
that,
it's
but
not like
then
it's an
again, you got
intentional thing either.
uh, the extremes when you go over to places like America, which have the Bible Belt, and yet every Bible carrying Christian carries an Uzi with them. You know, what is the deal with that?
Uzi.
It's a machine gun.
It's a machine gun.
No. I know what an Uzi is, but you can't profess to have the protection of God because you believe in that God and then do something like carrying an actual physical weapon. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah, I would have
What
said
they
an
do over there, you know,
AK-47.
or AK-47. You know, yeah. And
yeah,
talking about
and
AK-47. Sorry.
Oh
it's an
dear.
illegal weapon.
No, and
I
I
don't
want
even
to
know.
segue. Hmm, go on. I wanted to segue.
AK-47s are mostly owned by criminals in my country. You gotta
Yeah,
ask
yeah, yeah.
yourself, and we are way off fucking Flatzoid and his fucking, I don't know, 15 or whatever frames. Um, how can a criminal get their hands on a fucking illegal weapon to the public? That is supposed to be like a military grade weapon. It is not supposed to be in the hands of civilians, right? And these fuckers are running around with their AK-47s shooting at cash in transit vans and stuff. How? Well, actually, I know how.
It's always a black
I know
market.
exactly how. Yeah, but the black market is even dirtier than I thought because, a couple of years ago, I didn't have all these fucking information that so many people are doing so many wrong things out there. It blows my mind. So in my country, even they found, okay, at least 10,000 of our cops have criminal records or pending criminal records. Oh, shocked you into silence, did I?
No.
No, I'm just comparing that to what I know about Queensland cops.
I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to say anything there. Oh.
There was a big royal commission
and
about
now,
the Queensland cops, so yeah, probably not much different.
yeah, we found out that the cops were confiscating guns, and then it was mysteriously disappearing from the police's, what do you call it,
Evidence
custody.
lockers.
How?
Anyway,
Human nature.
that's the way it goes.
No. I'm not gonna blame fucking premeditatedly setting out to take the weapons from, licensed individuals and then giving it to criminals to run rampant in the cities. No, I refuse.
Follow the money, The cops get it for free, then they sell it to these criminals, and they get a profit. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be the cops, guys. They're supposed to be good guys. Not.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I can come up with a scenario where I can accuse, whoever decided to come up with, like in the beginning, they were like sheriffs or whatever, roaming the lands and enforcing rules or soldiers or whatever. Then they decided, yeah, we're just going to carry on this and use this as a front, make everybody think that we are supposed to be upholding the law. Meanwhile, we'll be the guys who are breaking the law while we are making other people uphold it. Some crazy scheme like that.
Well, it normally comes down to the forces or the people in those forces not being able to make enough money or not getting paid enough for what they do in the first place, right? And that usually causes the main problem because in places like Africa and America, even here in Queensland, it's always about the money. It's number one issue. If they got paid enough, they wouldn't have the issue.
Everybody. Yes. Those are the guys like police, teachers, and doctors, nurses, anybody in the caregiving industry, especially people who look after the elderly or the orphans. They need to be well compensated so they don't end up doing shit things. Right? The cops should be paid a lot of money so they don't fucking get in bed with the fucking criminals and terrorize society even more. Pay the teachers so they can teach the children properly. We had an incident last year
Give them the
where
resources
a teacher,
they need to. Oh.
Yeah, yes. Don't fucking steal the money. Pay the fucking whatever taxes or, you need to buy this or that equipment and, hardware, software. Do the thing that helps the people do their jobs. In my country, when your kid goes to school at the beginning of the year, you got to buy everything that kid is going to need for the whole entire year in one go. And I'm talking the sheets that they print the tests and homework on, toilet paper, paper, pens, pencils, prit, you name it. They have to bring it on the first day of school.
Yeah.
Now, Sal,
And
with that, oh,
no,
yeah,
you before you
with
say anything else, and they gotta pay school fees, and they gotta pay extra if they want to wear their own clothes on a special day, and
yes, but Sal,
everything.
at the end of that, do they actually get to learn anything?
Um,
If you have to think
Because
about it, no.
because what we found,
look,
because we've been in this flat Earth, we've gone back to flat Earth now, is that these
yeah.
flat Earthers don't seem to have the education that they go to school and they tell us that they've been indoctrinated by this globe that's been sitting on the teacher's desk all this time. Thinking what?
Because I never had a globe on my desk. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? I watched,
Anyway,
guys, talking about that. I watched a video that Cersei covered, and it was a Christian guy trying to tell atheists, blah, 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 right? And he said, I went to the same schools that they did. I went to I had the same education system that they did.
yep.
But in every country, the education systems are so different. I
Yes.
mean, compared, I don't know when your year starts. I'm talking to people in Australia. My school year starts in January, like normal people should start
Yep.
their year in January. But Americans don't, you know?
Well, I went to school 7 days a week, right? 7 days a week. Monday, Tuesday,
Why?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? So Monday to Friday was normal English school. Saturday was a language school, and Sunday was the church school, right? So I quickly got
Okay.
out
Oh,
of the
wow.
last two. Yeah, so that's the religious type of family we lived in. But I'm still normal, and I still think not think I do
I'm
know
still
that the Earth
normal.
is. I do know that the Earth is not and never will be flat.
And
Normal
at
is
the bottom of
subjective.
the fucking Ross says that the earth is at the bottom of the I don't know, gravity well or whatever you want to call it. Like the earth is
Oh
the
my god!
foundation of the universe, and everything else is, in that. If you go on either side of the earth and you like sort of draw like a 45-degree line on your left and 45-degree line on your right, and you've got that angle going up, into the, I don't know, fucking dome or something. And that's the extent of the universe.
Hmm. Now, I've got a difficult question for Peter and yourself, Sal, in regards to math, because math was never my strong point, right?
Hmm.
Oh God.
Now,
Mhm.
so I want to ask the audience or anyone listening to the out there who can help me with this particular question, because it's been on my mind for the last few weeks. Okay, so we know we have this flat Earth. Not what they say that it's flat Earth, right? And everyone that I hear says at the equator moves at 1,000 miles per hour. You've heard this, right, from the flat earthers,
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
1030 something, yeah.
Yeah. Now
yeah.
let's say now on the flat Earth we can see the where the equator is. It's in the middle of the flat Earth, and then you got this big thing outside called the ice wall. How fast does the ice wall travel at? 'Cause it's further out.
Oh, that is a damn good point.
All right.
No,
There you
but
go.
on a flat Earth, there shouldn't
It
be
doesn't
an
move. Yeah.
equator.
I
Yeah,
keep
there
And
shouldn't be
asking
an
them that.
yeah.
I keep
And they
asking
also
that.
say that the
there
flat
shouldn't
Earth doesn't
be an
revolve.
equator. I want to know what separates, or should I say, what stops the light at a certain point of the Earth? Because when they are doing their round and round above the flat Earth thing with the sun and moon, it's very funny because there the sun and moon are like on opposite sides of the
Yeah.
flat Earth disk, and they like always stay the same distance apart as they are going above the flat Earth. And what causes that light to stop there and not light up the whole entire disk on the top, a top
Magic.
from top downwards.
Magic.
Magic?
Yeah, it's in a what do you call it? A cone light disc type of thing, flashlight. It's ridiculous.
Sun has to be a spotlight with a
Spotlight.
shade
That's what it was.
around
Spotlight.
it, so it only projects a narrow beam. Yeah, but it's purple. That beam is not narrow. It's only on like one half of the earth.
And don't forget, there's a guy out there saying that the sun doesn't make the light. It's daylight makes the light. We don't need the sun at all. I mean, seriously, how far do you got to bend yourself over backwards to come up with that one?
It's hilarious.
No, but what do you mean? There's daylight because of the sun. So where is the?
No,
what
it's
do you
CGI.
CGI. CGI.
The whole idea behind that is that if you're in a room with no windows, you can still see in the daytime.
Are you sure?
Okay, mostly, yeah. And they're saying that it's daylight that's making the light, not the sun.
I don't know.
You stand underneath a shed roof with all open sides even. Okay, you can't see the sun, so why are you able to see?
What was it? Who was that girl on MC Tune that she made me laugh? She said, "The us down under, including Southern South, we don't have southern facing shadows." I'm thinking, what are you talking about? We live here.
Oh God.
I think she was all there.
Yeah,
sure,
it really bugs me when they say that can't happen. That can never happen if the earth was flat. Why not? Tell us why not.
Stubby
and
short of
then
a six
show
pack.
us.
Yeah, that's it. But most flat earthers are. It's like, the only person who could probably have the six pack still there, and he talks so well is the Witsit. But he still quote mines everything he reads. Oh my gosh.
I don't think he even understands 90% of what he dribbles.
No.
Or am I being?
But it's good at it.
On him there?
Gotta give him that.
Yeah. So is an auctioneer.
Oh, yes.
He can blurt out a whole heap of stuff. I don't know that they actually understand most of it.
Or rappers. Rappers do it well too.
Man, rap's different though. They at least put some sort of thought into what they're about to say.
Are you sure?
God, I hope so.
Because some of the rhymes of the rappers back in the 90s were like, they really made sense. I could even sing along with.
Oh shit! What was my favorite rapper?
Who?
Oh, there's a white dude.
Vanilla Ice.
Oh crap! No,
not him.
No.
Eminem.
Informer.
Eminem.
Oh,
the song was called Informant.
Snow.
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Snow.
Snow. Oh, it's just Snow.
You tried keeping up with him.
I have kept up with him. Back when I was like,
I could barely understand it until I watched it on YouTube, and I slowed it down and had the lyrics as well. And even then,
we had lyrics.
It was hard to keep in track.
Apparently, he grew up with like Rastafaris, and that's why he had that accent going for him.
Okay.
Oh, I was like, I had a major crush on that oak only because of the way he sang. I didn't like much of the way he looked, but the way he sang was awesome.
Another question for the for flat earthers out there is: flat earthers often, call out the dome. We live under a dome, right?
Firmament, but yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay. So what happens if you have, because they say what is above is below, so you would think that there would be a dome below us. What happens if you put two domes together? What does that form in your mind? A sphere!
We have to reach the heights of like knowledgeable information, guys.
Mm.
Oh god.
So we know where flat earthers lie because you've got a lot of Earth. I mean, you mentioned about the 15 frames or 13, or whatever the frames that are missing from any particular video.
I thought it was 21, but go ahead.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, whatever it is, right? 21, 15, or 33.
66.
666. 42. Right? All these numbers.
69. There you go. I said it.
So I mean, they do this to equate what their narrative is, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this before. They don't have anything to explain what we actually live on. They just explain, oh, this means this, or that NASA lies, and they go, okay, let's go down the NASA. And this is why I brought up the AK-47, because I want to go back to Russia. Russia launched the Sputnik, the first satellite in space, and flat earthers say, oh, space doesn't exist, and satellites don't exist. And I'm thinking, hang on, we've got Starlink up there right now. You know, we've got Himawari 8 up there, and we showed them Himawari 8, and they go, oh, but that's fake. You know, what the?
That's Sataloons. I love that expression, Sataloons.
The first time I heard the word Sataloon, I like spit out my coffee all over my white shirts, and I was like, what the fuck are you even talking about, guy?
Exactly right.
Oh,
the thing is, there is such thing as Sataloons.
Of course there are, right?
Yeah, they're only temporary, but yeah, they put balloons up with instruments and stuff on it, do some spying or take measurements or whatever, and then they land. Okay, that's how balloons work. Okay, you can't keep the gas in the balloon permanently.
And how do they track these airplanes over large bodies of water, like from Perth to Santiago?
Yep.
Subs under the water.
Exactly right.
Well,
but water is flat and level. Remember? Okay.
Oh God! I took a photo of
flat and level are not synonymous with each other.
I know, right?
I can have a flat piece of paper
and they
that's
don't mean
not
the same
level.
thing either. They don't. It's not. They don't. They're not. Yeah, they're not the same word. Basically, it's not the same. It's not interchangeable.
No, they have a similar idea, but they are not interchangeable. Because you can have a flat picture frame, edge of a picture frame, hanging up on the wall.
Yes.
But if it's tilted slightly, it's not level. It's still flat, but it's not level.
Correct. And you can have a straight line on a ball.
Curve. Yep. All depends on how you look at it.
It's curved. I think, oh my God, you can't be this stupid. Seriously.
Gravity! Gravity!
That's it. There you go.
Gravity!
Love that one.
Okay, that wasn't me. Seriously, I didn't touch
Now
that.
I need a cigarette.
That was me.
Oh, good.
I saw it and then I added it to
so
the
glad
stream.
you could use it.
Yeah, he's so good. That I've heard that so many times when I started looking at flat Earth videos, because when the flat Earthers deny or they bring up DDD or disequilibrium, I can't even remember what they say. Magnetism. That's the one.
Oh,
yeah,
magnetism.
and I'm thinking, oh God, are you freaking serious?
Apparently,
they obviously have absolutely no idea how the world works.
No. And sure, gravity may not seem a force to them, but what else is out there? Oh, disequilibrium, blah, 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 blah. Again, yeah, that doesn't sound... Okay, what happens?
Gravity may not be a force, but it causes a force to happen.
Exactly, right?
Okay. I've actually had this argument with... Oh, what's his name? Oh, the astronomer dude.
Brian?
No, he's a... Oh, crap. Hold up. I'll bring up my Discord.
There you go.
Everything I know is on Discord.
All right.
Where's his name? It's Professor...
Dave? Phil?
Professor Bell.
Professor Rob Parks.
Bell.
Rob Parks.
See, so we've got these people who are highly intelligent. Professor Phil, he cracks me up. And you got Professor Dave, and you got an PhD Tony. He's I know he can stutter a few times, but man, he just kicks him in the guts. He's so cool. Yeah. But when
Tony
they
should be a
challenge,
national hero.
I know, right?
And-
When he goes against Flirts, it's like battle on, and they got nothing. They got nothing.
Yeah.
And then they start attacking his character.
Yeah, right.
Flatzoid will never speak to me. He told me straight out in a comment. I went to comment on his on one of his videos, and I said, "Come talk to me," and he said no. And MC Toon wanted to talk to him, and he said, "Well, you got to join my Patreon and give me money, then I'll talk to you." And apparently, MC Toon joined his Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's that.
Yeah. I mean, we had got I haven't seen Mitchell do a video for a while.
That's a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hated that they will use a table as a fucking in lieu of the fucking whole entire earth.
What is the deal with that?
Oh God.
Do you know that my camera only has a 60-degree field of view, and if I use my actual Samsung camera, because I use another app also to film, but if I use my camera, I get 0.5% or times zoom, so I get a wider field of view. Something
That's
like
digital zoom too.
Yes, but I still get it, right? So in my normal filming, it's only 60 degrees. And there are 360 degrees in a whole entire circle, which means I would need 6, 12, 18, 24, I don't know how to count, 30, 36. Yeah, which means I would need 6 cameras, like in a round next to each other, filming to get the whole entire picture in one go. Like I've done that with,
and that's only on one plane too.
Yeah, one plane.
Yes.
And you've got up and down as well as that.
Yes.
And there's the thing.
And you want to tell me.
Go on.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so I was, I'm thinking we are looking at such a fucking small piece of the sky in that little video that I take, and there's like 300, I'm missing 300 degrees up and down, 300 degrees from side to side, and 300 degrees all around, because I'm only filming in that, in that little piece of space. If I want more information, I need more observations. It's never going to work where I just take one video one time and make a whole entire assumption about what's happening out there or down here or anything like that.
Yep. I mean, again, did you put a fisheye lens on it?
No. I don't use fisheye. I use my camera. I usually use exposure 0, but my camera takes in so much information that it's just too much for me. I want a little bit less information so we can at least see what's going on and not being blurred out by the sun's glare, So most of the time I film on -1 exposure.
Well, again, that's the thing is, like, it's one of the resets or the go-to for the Flirts. It's like, oh, it's got fisheye lens on it. That's why it looks curved, or nothing look curved, or whatever, right? So many excuses they give it.
Yeah, but I've got the video on here, because I've been talking so much, I've not done anything yet for the background, but I've got that video of those clouds that are, those clouds are, it looks like it's in a straight line in front of the camera, and as it's moving away from the camera, it's sort of going down and forming like a horizontal line with the, with the horizon. It's
Now,
sort of like parallel to the horizon. And why would it do that on a flat, stationary, motionless Earth? What causes the wind? What causes the pressure? The
Baked beans.
questions just go on and on. Huh?
unicorn
What?
farts.
You said what
No.
causes the wind? I said baked beans.
I was going
I
to say
heard
unicorn
that.
farts.
My what wasn't like what did you say? My what like was what? What? I'm trying
Well,
to be
so
serious and get with you see with attitudes like this, some flat earther is gonna listen to the stream, and then he's gonna hear your answer and clip it and go off to somewhere else and say, look what these globies are hiding from us.
oh yes,
Oh, I'll be
please.
famous then.
Yay. Well, so I had a question for you. You know, with the clouds, have you ever? You probably seen them over your way. Is the famous? Well, they keep telling us the famous crepuscular rays, right?
You've seen them yesterday. I had quite a couple of videos with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can. They say, oh, if you use your angles, you can tell the sun is only 3,000, 4,000 miles up in the sky using crepuscular rays. What happens when there's anti-crepuscular rays? They got no answer for that.
Oh, I've shown that also.
Have you seen
fact,
the
I
video where they use a drone to use the shadows of a fence? When you're down at ground level looking at the shadows from a fence, they look like they're all off at different angles. And then you go up high in the drone, looking down at it, and you see that they're all equally spaced, in line, no angles whatsoever.
Shocking, huh? Shocking.
Yeah. There's your crepuscular rays for you.
Shocking
Yep,
proof.
I have it. I put it in the video. I put it in this
And then-
video that I'm preparing to come and play for you guys in the background there.
And then, of course, crepuscular rays always look to be offset from where you are. You know, if you move to the right or the left or whatever, the ray's always pointing at you. So, yeah. How can that
And
be?
also, I've got it before sunrise. I got anti-crepuscular rays from the sun when the sun is below the horizon before sunrise. Those rays are actually reaching the opposite horizon. I have those videos. I made those observations, and then Fluffs refused to even acknowledge that that is a thing. Never mind trying to refute it or explain it.
Of
There's
course
no
they
CGI.
do.
I'm fucking filming real life.
Oh, it can't be. You're doing actual evidence. I don't like actual evidence. You know that.
I don't give a fuck what you like. I don't even care. I can't even care whether I like it. I have to go by what is happening in reality. My feelings cannot be factored into this conversation. I can't. I can't let my
Facts
feelings
don't care
my
about your
feelings have
opinions.
No.
Yeah, but my feelings, whether I'm sad or happy, hey guys, it doesn't matter. Reality is gonna do what it does. It's gonna,
Exactly.
be itself. So the best thing I can do for myself in order to understand the world that we live in is to try and understand it. Just, observe
Drink more
it
whiskey.
more, learn more about Oh God, if I drink more whiskey, I'll be doing more live streams and complaining about all the shit that I had to learn while listening to Fluff's nonsense.
Oh, don't let this turn into a whiskey Wednesday.
All right. Okay, sorry.
But it's Sunday, guys.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Time is subjective, especially lunchtime.
Oh, doubly so.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking time also. Right. But I barely drink. I drink very rarely. And I'm very happy when I drink.
Go to here.
It's nice.
I have to assume that when you say drink, you mean alcoholic beverages, not just regular drinking.
Yeah, I only have whiskey. I only drink whiskey if I'm going to drink a booze.
Oh, bugger that.
Let me just bring this up. See if you
Yeah,
can
that's
share the
only
screen on this one. If you haven't seen, if you can share my screen there, Sal. Yep. Now this is this is Reds Reddick against Ban Notice. This is Reds actually demolishing a flat earther. It was absolutely phenomenal. So if you haven't watched it,
okay.
go
We can
check it
listen
out.
to that so long. No problem.
Uh,
No, you can play it
go.
there. Can't we play it
Okay.
there and discuss it? You can pause it as you feel, and we can.
It's 2 hours long. I can play it all.
Yesterday we were on here for fucking 6 hours. What are you talking about?
Wow.
6 hours,
You
6 minutes, and 59 seconds. I counted.
Yeah, you missed
Wow.
so much.
My internet was down. I had the internet problems. My whole thing went. I think the wire went out and something. So my internet was just out all day last night. So couldn't do anything. Couldn't cut my phone's out too. So anyway, there's that one. There was the Great Shape debate one. I watched that one. The Everett just keeps up putting out videos of flat Earth people. They're so funny. I love Everett's videos. There was this one with the Jesus. We talked about earlier. It was again denial. That's all I have. All right, let's go back
What, that
to
river in Egypt?
yeah. In fact,
What river
yeah,
in
this one
Egypt?
the
Nile.
Denial.
Yeah, denial. So I'll play them in a minute. I just want to go back to stop sharing. And I wasn't again. I only became a flat Earth, not a flat, anti-flat earther. I set up my channel when I first started. My mum bakes cakes as a purely for people who want to bake cakes. And then I saw Cool Hard Logic's videos on flat Earth, and I haven't turned back since because I couldn't believe people were flat earthers. And then I got onto Fight the Flat Earth and MC2, and then a whole bunch of other people, doing the bunks of
Okay.
this stupid flat Earth thing. Anyway.
Yeah, let me tell you what happened to me. I did not have YouTube prior to June of 2018. Only at that time were we able to get me a phone. So I finally got a phone. My hubby set everything up. And one of the first videos I ever watched was of, what's his name? Skeptic. What's his name? Huh?
Team Skeptic.
The one who says idiot ding.
Yep. That's him. Team Skeptic. Yep.
Yeah, Team Skeptic. Wow, my brain. Right. And I'm watching him, and he is debunking some guy and his brother who are talking about the flat earth. And that time it was Elon Musk launched his car into space.
Correct.
Right. And that's what these guys were talking about, and how when they opened that hatch to for the camera to point to the earth, there was a big flash, and apparently it was a studio. And then I thought, is this what people are talking about right now? Like, really? And then I just went all out, and I got introduced to fucking Nathan Thompson, Nathan Oakley, Nathan Roberts,
Brian.
Brian wasn't too much back then, but yeah, him. But those were the main ones I was listening to, the debunks, and then I got led to Simon Dan and FTFE, MC Tune. And then I started actually hearing what the flat earthers were saying. And once that happened, I thought, no, man, that's not how that works. No, that's not how that works. And it became a song, and I thought, no, let me do something.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started my 5 p.m. photos. That was in November of 2018. And I'm still doing it.
Well, I got my own channel as well with a couple of my own videos on there of flat Earth.
Oh, send your link to my Discord, and I'll come join you.
Let me go send it there. Okay. What do I do?
I'll come subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, Discord.
Pop one in my Discord too if you want.
I've got to log in back in Discord again now.
If you send it, I will subscribe.
I'll put it in sales channel.
Okay, I can get it from
go.
there if I need to.
Okay, videos. There we go. Done.
Thanks. I will come there to subscribe to you guys. And we have no one watching us right now.
Well, it's you. I thought he was going to come in.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's this? Hugh.
Greetings
I don't
and
know how to-
salutations.
It's you,
Our
hero, Hugh.
How am I a hero?
All praise the mighty one.
Oh, circumference. We are not mighty. We bow to you.
I certainly gave
Circumference.
old Ross a bit of a moon today. He lives 2 hours drive away from me, but he can still see it.
Yeah, we heard that. Yes.
Oh my goodness, is that guy still around?
Yeah, he hasn't drunk himself to death yet.
Oh dear.
Oh. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm asking for a friend.
It's very sad in
A
Ross's
friend.
case.
Big wink.
You have friends? What's a friend?
And I have no friends. I was lying about that too.
Well, you got 3 here.
No, I have friends on the internet. That's what I have. They are, besides Bobby and my son, and when I go to visit my kids, I don't really have like people I can have everyday conversations with.
That's why I love the internet so much. I don't get out as much as I should or could, and all my friends are online now too. Works for me.
Well, in 50 years,
Oh,
we'll all be
nice.
doing that. We'll all be in the Matrix.
Yeah, there's story in the Isaac Asimov's Foundation story all about what would happen in a long time after we've left Earth. Was it Caves of Steel or something like that? I can't remember which one it is.
Will it become flat?
No, never.
Well, if you get a big enough bulldozer,
There you go.
and maybe if I land on it.
I do actually recall reading a science fiction novel by a guy called Zachariah Sacharikful, I think his name is. I could be butchering that. And he describes a world that is so big that it doesn't actually have a horizon. It's still round, but it's so big that you can't see the horizon at the end of the horizon.
Got the same feeling when I look down.
I can't even remember the name of the book now. It's one of my favourites too. Oh,
Now,
do a
Hugh,
lot of reading.
I posed a question earlier. Just wondering if you could enlighten us if you know anything about maths.
It's spelled M-A-T-H. Yes.
Yes. The question
something.
was, like we've heard flat earthers, tell us that the equator moves at 1,000 miles per hour or kilometers per hour. It doesn't really matter at the equator, correct?
1,038, I believe it is. But
Yeah.
And
Really,
that's
really,
tangential
really
speed, of course.
fast.
Yeah, really, 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 really fast. Right now.
Compared to
The
what?
question is,
exactly.
When you put the equator on a flat Earth, it's in about the center of where it's near the whatever it's in that particular zone, and
Halfway
how fast
between the
then-
North Pole and the South Pole.
Correct. How fast then is the ice wall traveling at?
Well, they don't believe the Earth is rotating at all. So
There you go.
Yeah. Damn it,
And,
you picked it quicker than I did.
Sal, we were just talking about the Earth becoming flat. I just sent you a picture you might like to show everyone.
Where on where did you send it to me?
On Discord.
Okay, I'll go and look.
Everything's on
Purple
Discord
rhymes with
these
oranges
days.
here.
I
Don't
I
ignore
took this
purple rhymes with
video
orange.
while guys, don't make me say ha live on my channel. Makes me sound very incompetent. I took this video I think it's now more than 10 days ago. This was on the 19th of April, and the sun was on the left of the church.
Look at that.
There it goes. Bye-bye.
It was getting smaller. Earth ain't flat.
And now it's going like directly behind the church. I'm so curious to know from flat
No, the
earthers.
church didn't burn up. Why?
No. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the classic line was like, if you go up to Mount Everest, why is it cold up there, not hotter, if the sun's so close?
No, guys. Stop it.
they probably deny Himalayas don't exist anyway.
There you go.
How do I show this? I present. Hey, I present, and I do a slide. No, I don't.
No,
have
you
any
do
slides.
video.
I do a video. Video.
You can also add it to your branding and just display it that way. Or you can just
My
display it
branding.
on one of your other screens and share that screen. There's a few ways of doing it.
Have you seen
It's
the
probably not
inside
going
of
to be
my
a joke
brain?
worthwhile waiting for.
No, I was just asking if you know what the inside of my brain looks like.
Much more interesting. than the
Nobody's
flirts,
seen
I'm
it, so
sure.
it doesn't exist.
Yep.
According to the flurfers, if you can't see it, it can't exist.
Trust your
That's
senses.
terrible reasoning. That's a terrible argument.
I wonder what happens when they
refuse
go to dry their face with a towel.
dignify that argument with a fucking response, because I see so many fucking things. You can't tell me that if you no, I can't even argue that. Wow, no. It's like as a baby, you learn something called object permanence. Jesus, no.
Perseverance,
Sorry.
but yeah.
Well, I've got a piece of information that you might not have heard.
Mm-hmm.
All flat earthers are fucking idiots.
Shock horror.
I used a beer bottle instead of a wine glass. It didn't really sound like a ding, but anyway.
But dish.
I think I know how to get it. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I have to do it on my phone.
So can you tell us how you got started in the flat Earth movement?
I sat on it.
Shut up. I'm trying to get that one. Hold on, guys.
You made the earth flat, eh? Okay.
Yep. Your mama's so fat, she made the earth flat.
Yeah, that's a point. How does your mama joke work with you?
It doesn't.
Your
Your
mama
mama's so
makes
fat.
cake.
I bet you're not even fat in real life, and you're just taking the mickey out of all the fat people. That's not
Branding
nice.
is branding. Don't knock it.
Yeah, I'm actually a 3'4" midget. Yeah.
And I'm an elven dwarf. Just look at my avatar.
I'm Gandalf.
I am 2 kilometers around still.
Wow. I mean, I know I'm fat, but damn it, guys. I don't know where it would have.
Well, I'm not exactly svelte myself, but I wouldn't call myself fat.
Okay, Svelte.
No.
Svelte the Viking.
Here we
No,
go.
Elton Retap.
Have I met you before, by the way? I don't think I've.
I've never spoken to you in person, no.
The voice is familiar, though.
Yeah, you've probably seen my calling card. If Sal wasn't so busy, I'd ask her to pop my little video up. But she's busy, so we'll wait. Yeah, I'm on a lot of the Discords, and I watch a shed ton of flat earthers, amongst other things.
You torture yourself in purpose, right?
I wouldn't call it torture. I'd call it a good belly laugh. It's so funny. It is. It's so stupid. It's funny.
The best part
that's all
about flat earthers is that they're so creative in avoiding the truth.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing. If they applied just one part of the brain cells they use to be creative to avoid it, they don't
have
figure
one
it
brain
out.
cell left.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the flat earthers are just. I just don't get them. I really don't see how somebody could be so obstinate and so closed-minded that they cannot see their hand in front of their face when it comes to the shape of the Earth or anything for that matter.
Well, you got three of us down here in Australia, and we've got a few, and I pity us. We have a few flat earthers: Scotty Storm, Roscoe, and Mitchell.
Mhm.
Why?
I
Doesn't
could probably
make
think
sense.
of a few more too, but not off the top of my head. I just don't get it, especially being in Australia where apparently we're all walking upside down.
Yeah. I remember one of the first videos I watched was this guy. He had the globe Earth. And he had a small aeroplane. He was showing, does the
Oh,
plane
yes.
do this?
This was the
Actually,
guy saying he
what?
was really smart, wasn't he?
Yeah.
something I'd like to bring up. Okay, you got a flat earther lives in America, right? Okay. Imagine the Earth, the globe, obviously, and America's up in like the top left corner at the moment.
Yeah, they're upside down.
In my head, okay, and they're
Only if you look at the Earth
upwards.
that way, yes.
Okay, they're upwards, right? But
Yeah.
are they pointing upwards? They're not. They're probably like on about a 45-degree angle from the center of the Earth. What gives them the right to say that up is their up?
Good point.
Somebody should bring that up to the flat earthers, because that annoys me that they're so egocentrical that they think that their up is up. It's only because there's more people living in the northern hemisphere that they've decided that north is up and south is down. You know, if Australia had discovered the world that was round and the North and South Pole, we would have said, okay, south is up. I guarantee it. Of course, our map would look a bit strange upside down, though.
No, we just wouldn't be used to it, that's all.
Yeah, true. So yeah, that's just something that I've been meaning to bring up with somebody for a long time, and it just occurred to me that I should say something about it now.
Flesh will just deflect.
Of course they will.
You can't have it, honestly.
But I'd like to hear their argument against it.
An argument? Did you pay for it? Did you pay for the 5-minute one or 10-minute one?
Have you spoken to Flesh?
No,
No,
I don't.
Fluffs wants you
I don't
to
make
them to lie to you. Fluffs
I don't
want
make
you
videos.
to see them lie to you. Look at what Flatzoid did to MC Toon, guys. Money, honey, money. It's
I don't
all
make
about the
videos,
money.
and I don't subscribe to flat earthers at all. The only reason I know about flat earthers is because watching all of you guys talking about it, and I will not.
Who is the dreariest flat earther?
Will not subscribe. The dreariest.
Jesm.
No, dreariest. It's fucking
Very could
Phuket
be.
word.
Depends on your definition of dreary.
Yeah.
Flat Earth, what is it? Believers, debaters, and debunkers. Yes.
Yeah.
He's insane.
Remember his pickles?
Pickles. Well, I didn't watch that. I saw the one with the oil and the ice cold water, colored water and things.
No, he was trying to get the gravity thing, and it had this thing on a scale with pickles.
Oh, like he's got no imagine. I saw him do that one experiment where he went to the bridge and he had the camera and he fucked it up royally, but at least he tried.
What about Rachie doing the jumping jacks with the container?
I can't
with
stand
oil and
Rachel.
water mixed?
She's a fucking terrible person, that one. I can't.
I think if she could be turned, she would be
a lovely person.
An ambassador for the globe Earth. She is not as dumb as a flat earther normally is, but she is obstinate. she will not admit to the fact that she's got it
Wrong.
wrong. But if she could do that, I think she would be a worthwhile person to have on the Globe.
But
Because
you don't
she's
know
not
the
as
power
she's
of the
not as
Plurfs,
dumb as she
mate.
says.
I'm sorry to say, but I need to be the worthwhile person for the Globe because I actually listen to Flat Earthers. I know that there are a lot of Globe heads out there who have way bigger channels. I mean, I barely even have 200 subscribers, but I have done more work than all those Globe heads put together.
Mhm.
And I don't include Greater Sapien because he flew that plane over Antarctica and all of, not including those people who actually went out and did those things. But like FTFE and MC Toon has done the equinoxes. He has.
Mhm.
And he's collected lots of people's, like those ones I don't knock because they've actually
Mr.
gone
Sensible?
out and he sent that balloon up, didn't he?
Yep.
And
Yep,
what did
that
the
was good.
fluff say about that? I mean, the Oak actually fucking put the 3 cameras with the string and the balloon, and he had everything being filmed, and still they don't accept it.
Yeah. I'm looking
How?
forward to the next one.
I wish I had a lot of money. I just don't have a lot of money. I gotta use my smartphone and film everything and anything I can to refute the fluffs.
Yeah. Problem is they deny it, and that's it. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's the amusing bit. They're very creative in doing that.
Yeah. You can almost see the cogs in their head grinding away when they asked a question that they know that if they answer it the way that they think they should answer it, it's going to sound silly and stuff like that. And you can see the gears grinding in their head. And the next thing they say is, "Oh, forget about that. What about this?" No, it's nothing. You know.
Those oil rigs were a classic example.
Oh, yeah.
Example of
Black
oil
Swan,
rigs.
yeah.
Yeah, that was like, do oil rigs' scaffolding really bend and shake out of shape like that?
Only if they're about to fall into the ocean.
And I asked the Flurfs, have you ever asked the people who actually work on those oil rigs if the Earth is flat or spherical? No?
Of course not. They might find out something.
Well, there you go.
Oh, add to stream.
Retard.
It's gonna go over my
Gravity!
head.
Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
Damn it! Now I need to smoke.
Now I need a cigarette.
Oh, it's the full version. You don't see that very often. Well, I don't hear it
Yeah.
anyway. In this
If I was
case.
going to download it, I had to get the full version. Oh dear.
Sal, can I share
Nice.
something?
Yeah, did you see the video I'm playing in the background? Last
Yep,
night
yep.
we had lightning. And the wind. I couldn't film all the lightning because the wind was trying to blow everything off the stoop. So
Yeah, I've tried lightning.
Okay.
It doesn't work. I'm still heavy.
That's something that needs to be brought up too. You know how the Flurfs deny gravity and say that it's all electrostatics and all this, that, and the other?
Yeah.
Well, according to their theory, every time lightning struck anywhere on the ground, everybody should float up. Because lightning striking the ground,
What?
Is discharging electricity, yes.
discharging all the electricity. So the electricity that's supposed to be holding you down should allow you to float up into the sky. I hope somebody's writing all this down because I'll forget them in about 20 minutes.
Well, if only we could
Just my
record this
brain
somehow.
had to restart again. Time in one day. I didn't know that the-
I watch debates and stuff like that, and I'm screaming at the screen all of these questions and stuff. And yeah, it's good to have an outlet like this to be able to put some of them forward.
Yeah.
And feel free to use them, anyone. I don't do films, so it's up to you guys to do it. And I won't say no to having my name put at the bottom as a credit, but yeah. There he is. Sal, do you want to put my little clip up so that
I think Hugh
Hugh
had one
can,
he wanted to show.
Yeah, you just have to
You can
click on
see.
it, Sal.
who I am? Yeah, this is me.
Memory is a funny thing, and I like rabbit holes.
If you've ever seen that video before online, that's me.
Oh.
Okay. Cool.
So is that
That's
it? That's
basically my
like a
calling card.
okay.
That's
I'm
my
just gonna
branding.
move
Yeah.
it from there. You can show me again. I need to. Oh, you've got 3 things open.
Have I?
That's you. And what
No,
is
I've only
this
got
one?
the 2. I've only got
Now
the
you-
gravity and myself.
And I've got one. You just have to click on it to add it to the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you got that one.
Welcome to Teach Sal's StreamYard.
Hold up.
It's playing. Hold on.
Memory is a funny
I'll
thing,
take that one
and I
out.
like rabbit holes.
Yeah, that's the one. You had it
Stream,
twice.
There you go. Okay. No, I've only got it there the once.
Yeah, I've removed the other one. So
Okay,
Hugh
now
Jaws,
do Hugh. Yep.
yeah.
There we go. The corky.
Oh wow, guys.
2 of my favorite things, drinking and corgis. All in one thing.
Okay. That's
Okay.
very nice.
Okay.
I'm a non-drinker myself, but I do like dogs. Not necessarily corgis, but I don't mind dogs.
Get out.
Better than cats at any rate.
Yeah, they're not as tough. Do we still have purple rhymes with orange with us?
Let's get Gary on.
Haven't seen for a while.
Gary.
Gary?
Gary.
Who's Gary?
The Wybinga bot.
Poor Gary.
That bot
that's
will
a
never visit my channel. I think it might be ripped apart.
Would you allow a flat earther to come on and comment?
Oh, absolutely. I'm waiting patiently for a flat earther to come talk to me about something in my
We
observation.
need to put you more out there, Sal.
Oh, I'm
have
working
to
now,
start.
darling. I barely
I'll
have
have to
time to even make videos. Never
I'll have to
mind.
shell you on the Discord.
Purple, I'm trying to find parts for a project. Okay.
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 Does anybody know how many people are actually watching, or because I haven't got the stream up?
I'm seeing 2. I'm one of
Okay.
them.
Are you playing my video on your stream?
No, it's muted.
On your Yeah, but are you playing it there? I just
Ooh.
pressed the thing now
Oh, I
because
didn't.
you
Okay, I'm gone now.
presented something.
I'd like to be able
No,
to
I'm
do
just
that, but
asking.
my computer won't keep up with it.
There was
But
a
I
bit of
can
inception
take it.
going on there.
There's the anti-crepuscular rays coming from below the horizon.
It's almost as if the sun's actually gone over a curve or something.
No. Can't
Or
be
a hump.
true.
Yeah, because the sun in reality doesn't really go anywhere from our perspective. It's us are the ones who are going somewhere away or towards the sun.
Oh, you don't understand how perspective works,
No.
is what a flirt would say.
My icon yesterday for talking was perspective. The streetlights going, towards the horizon, but not completely disappearing, meeting in the middle somewhere. So I think I understand how perspective works.
Well, it's certainly better than Flurfs, that's for
Perspective.
sure.
Perspective.
It's good to have a good perspective on life.
And that's where Flurfs get confused. That it's used in two different senses, which are not really related to each other. And even the word sense there would be confusing to them. But whatever it is that suits them is what they go for. So,
what's that? A synonym or a homonym? One sounds the same, one's spelt the same.
Straw man.
Damn it.
no, it's not quite the same thing, but different. I guess it's like read and read.
Yeah,
That's a homonym. Sorry, no, not a
Yeah.
homonym because that sounds.
that's a synonym.
Well, no, synonym's not the same. Synonym means it
Synonym
means
is a different word.
it's an alternative word for it, but that's not what
Okay.
Yeah,
the difference between sense there means.
I failed English because I didn't want it.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
I
Yeah.
put cinnamon on my hot cross buns.
I did remedial maths throughout high school because I didn't want to hear it again. I'd read it all in books anyway.
Veggie mass, eh?
Seriously, I passed my exams with flying colours in a lot of my subjects that I failed miserably in through the year, simply because I didn't do homework and I didn't want to hear it from the teachers. I'd already read it all in books. I was reading before I went to school.
So you did that in flying colours. Did you use an airplane that went around on air? Hello?
Silence.
Have we lost it?
Hey, where'd this lead balloon come from?
I've actually seen a proper lead balloon. I watched
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters, that's the one, yeah.
Am I still
That
live
was a
audio?
cool show. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
a bit quieter, but we can still hear you.
You didn't hear my question then.
Sorry, I'm busy watching the slideshow that is the video that Sal's
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah,
My computer is so
I
slow.
think a lot about the horizon rises to eye level argument, which is, I don't know, so silly. I tried to make that experiment. I have an app on my phone. It's a level app, and
Mhm.
it's 0 degrees with the X and Y axis. And I was up on the tower and I took that photo at 0 degrees. And the horizon was way below my eye level.
And of course, you know what the Flurfs are going to say about that. Oh, NASA's put chips in your phone so that you can only see it this way.
Yeah, but the whole sun simulation or the sky simulation idea is so dumb because it's going to be the exact, information for the person standing in the exact spot. And the moment that person takes one step in any direction, all of that falls apart.
Yep. And yeah, the Flurfs just don't get that. They have no concept of scale or volume or anything. You
I'd actually say they do get it. They just don't want to.
know? Some of them maybe. I'm betting a huge amount of them just don't get it mentally. The ones that do get it, they're the ones that are reaping all the money in from flat earthers.
Yeah, that's where Jeranism comes into the conversation, because that oak has filmed the ISS properly and still denied that. Firstly, it's the ISS. Secondly, that it is in space, or even that it exists. How? Because I myself have filmed the ISS. Its shape. I showed me Pet. I don't know where that photo is right now, but I saw the actual shape of the ISS.
Yeah,
And
I've
at the
actually
time,
seen it as
spot the station.
a dot of light going across, but yeah.
Spot the station is so accurate, it is unbelievable.
Yep, it certainly is.
2 weekends ago, we had both the CSS and the ISS
And
come over within 10
Yep.
minutes of each other here in Brisbane, and I filmed
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Wasn't much to see,
awesome.
it's just a
How
moving
did
star,
you-
but yeah.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
do you reconcile that with a simulated sky?
Well, it's even more than that because they both blinked out. It was a blink out pass for both of them. They both blinked out at the same time. Sorry, in the same spot of the sky, proving that the shadow was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was going to
yes.
say that shadow covered them. Yeah.
There are so many things, too many, in fact, to say that the Earth is flat and stationary and everything goes around the Earth or top around the Earth. Because I see things disappearing below the horizon. And I know what the reason for that is. And if I explain it to flat earthers, they will tell me I am indoctrinated. Meanwhile, I have come to that conclusion from my own observations.
I think I may have just come to a realization of why the Flurfs don't like the whole idea of space. Have you ever seen the animation of the globe Earth where they're showing all of the man-made satellites floating around it and how many there seem to be?
No.
Yes, I've seen that meme.
Okay. Remember that Flurfs have a problem with scale.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking that, okay, if that's how many of those things are up there, they're all going to fall down on my head one day.
Yes, they are thinking that. The main reason they have a problem with space is because it kills flat Earth dead.
Yep.
Any pictures from space prove that it's not flat.
Yeah, well, maybe it's time we sent a few of them up there. And I don't necessarily mean in a human-rated rocket either. Maybe use them as test dummies for the next Starship flight. I'd be in on that.
You must test dummies for concrete pylons, maybe. It'd be too expensive to send them into space. It's just not worth it. And then when they come back and said, yeah, sorry, we were wrong, guys, all the other Flurfs would say, you're a shield.
I guarantee not one of them that if they ever came back from space would say we were wrong. They would say, they must have given me drugs or something, or the window wasn't really a window. It was a TV screen, or they'd come up with all sorts of crap. I guarantee it. They're just too they're too stuck in their ways. There's a better word for that, but I can't pronounce it.
It's more they choose to be idiots, basically. But it's all about conspiracy. That's what it all boils down to. They don't trust the man, so they don't.
You don't have to trust the man.
Well, that's the point. You can just, as Sal does, do your own observations and, that's not possible on the flat Earth. It is possible in globe Earth, so therefore it's more likely to be globe. That's as simple as that.
You don't even have to do it yourself. So many people have done it over and over and over and over again.
Flurfs don't trust that because they don't understand science. They don't understand why it has value.
I feel that if Flurfs can do it, I can do it also, and I can do it better, and I'm going to put all my information in a book. And I'm also going to sell my book for money. Flurfs are selling their books for money. I mean, that idiot has 200 proofs. I mean, what? Yeah, 200 proofs the Earth is not a spinning ball, and he sold a couple of copies. If he can do it, also.
He can't count to 200. You can't count to 0.
Man, and a lot of those proofs in fucking giant air quotes are like repetitive. It's the same information, same level of information, like meters above sea level, just different locations, different heights of like lighthouses and stuff. And he has no clue what the hell he's talking about. He was indoctrinated. He remembers sitting in the classroom and thinking, but the ground below me is not moving. How dare they say the whole entire planet is moving? I didn't feel that was right. And then I wrote my first book.
Well, obviously he had a ghost written because clearly he's not smart enough to know how to write.
And it wasn't written in crayon.
And
Actually,
for
no.
me,
Eaten the crayon.
I was going to say it wouldn't have been written in crayon because he would have eaten them.
oh God, no, he would have been waving it around. He would have probably put some pom-poms at the end of it, because isn't he like a yoga person?
Oh, God.
Yogurt.
He's
Yogurt.
that 200 proofs is a carbon copy of the Zedek Society's book.
From
There's
what I
another book
heard,
called 100
yes.
Proofs that the Earth is not a ball. Was written at the beginning of the 20th century, and he's just basically copied that.
But the book sounds like a 5-year-old got a hold of like like a thesaurus and like another language dictionary, trying to translate those words into English, and then trying to jumble it into a mess of a book. The book itself, the way it is written, has no knowledge in it. It just has his incredulous thoughts, because according to him, everybody else is wrong. Only he has the correct version.
Not like
I
a
was
flirt at
actually-
all.
I was actually stunned when they brought out those movies. I mean, seriously. And
Apparently
Netflix,
the
no
third
less.
one's out. It's even worse.
Is it?
God.
Is
It's hard
it?
to believe.
I'll have to look out for that.
Why?
Oh my God! No,
I
guys.
like a good laugh.
No, guys. That Beyond the Curve, where Jaren was measuring the holes in those panels that he
Yeah.
laid up. and
Interesting.
He did.
Interesting.
It was, dude, you just proved that the Earth is a globe right there on camera with your own fucking experiment that you came up with. And
Well,
then
Bob
he goes,
did
in,
it.
no,
Actually,
no.
I don't think he did come up with the idea of the experiment. I'm pretty sure I've heard about that experiment in science class way back when I was a wee fella.
Well, I never did that experiment. I didn't even know that should be as I was saying earlier on, I mean, flat Earth was just something that was just mentioned. Oh, back in the day, people didn't know what we know now. Therefore, they thought that and that and that. But since we've, moved on in our fucking information gathering, and we've learned a couple of things, we've
Just a couple.
Kind of like
adjusted,
flips.
So now nobody should think that. And 5 years ago, when I came across this stuff on YouTube, and I thought, are you serious? And these are Americans, hey? I was so shocked that these are Americans. They are supposed to be the best of the best, have the best of the
Yeah,
best,
right.
access to everything that's nice and good and well. And they are flat earthers. And then I fucking learned even more. I got even more angry because they can afford fucking $1,500 camera, and they have fucking cars and 2 coffee machines in their kitchen.
A TV in the river room.
I think we hit a nerve with Sal.
Yeah, I can't afford those things. And yet they think that the Earth is flat and stationary. I mean, look at CC from Westchester County.
Oh,
Huh?
I love his hair. He's got-
That is
Where's
a
he from
typical
again?
of Westchester
County.
County.
As
Yeah,
if
New
that
York.
it means anything to anyone who isn't from there.
Oh, I've actually
Yeah,
looked it up on Google Maps. Yeah.
He is the epitome of old man shouts at clouds.
Yes.
He doesn't understand
Spot
what
on.
fog is and what mist is, and he doesn't understand that water can come in, overland from the ocean and vice versa, and the pressure of the air, is always fluctuating, and it's a big deal for him. Why? What? Where does it come from? No, the Earth is not flat and stationary. How can you think that? You're a grown man. I must say his hair is very beautiful, though. He has
Oh yes.
fucking
His
nice.
wife's his wife's classic too.
Yeah, you're a
Oh, his
fucking
wife.
idiot. No, but I don't like
That
to
he
diss
is.
people like that. Like that's his wife. She should take him aside and tell him, honey, what you're doing there is a little bit out of the ordinary. Can you please stop? That's why he drives off in his car and he goes and parks somewhere else and makes these videos there.
It's like Brian's wife. Oh, she's a sweetheart. Brian Mabbott, that is.
Is that Brian's logic?
No, Brian Mabbott, the train
Oh.
Never
driver.
heard of him.
He used to be on Tony's. He used to be on Jose's show quite a bit. And
Who's
Brian Mabbott is
who's
an old
the guy
old.
who's the guy in the crane?
The Level Earth Observer.
Leo.
Adam.
Yeah, I mean these guys. I mean that guy should take his fucking. Surveyors have that piece of equipment. It almost looks like a camera, but it's not. And you look through it, and on the lens, it has the X and Y
Theodolite.
axis. Theodolite, yes. And
At least I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
they should take it up. Well, that guy should take it up there in his crane and actually check out the horizon from that elevation. I would actually on this live stream dare him to do that and show his findings. He's going to find that the horizon does not rise to eye level. He has the perfect opportunity. If I was that fucking person going up in a fucking crane, I would take my theodolite with me. That is the perfect opportunity to show, if you think that the earth is flat, what better opportunity than to show I'm up here, I'm doing this, and there you go, the earth is flat. But no, he just goes up there, points his camera, and talks a lot without any evidence whatsoever backing up his claims.
But if he has evidence, that'll ruin all his incredulity.
Yeah, but we don't
incredulity
want
is his thing.
people. This is my problem. If you have the wherewithal to actually do this premeditatedly, that means you have in you to do the right things. And I bet you the right things are going to get you better results than what is happening now, where people are always slinging insults your way. Why do it that way? That is the wrong way and the hard way. It doesn't make sense to me. I rather want good words thrown at me than bad words. And if I'm doing something
why it doesn't
wrong,
make sense to you?
which part? That they don't want to do the right things.
And they don't want to, they're quite happy for insults to be sent their way. The reason that doesn't make sense to you is because you're not a fucking idiot. They are. And that's the difference. We can't imagine the mind of a fucking idiot because we're not fucking idiots.
Yes, but aren't there other extenuating factors that, brought them to this point? Because what drives a person to, where they are today? I can tell you that if I wasn't kicked out of my house back in 1996, I would not be here in the middle of maybe I would. I don't know, because I am not a prophet or anything. But I'm saying the way my life
You're
went,
not.
I wouldn't be here where I am sitting right now. I would have been somewhere else. Maybe they would have married me off to somebody else. My life would have taken a different direction. So what makes a flat earther start from, hey, maybe I think this is not the way they say it is, and then completely fucking go off the rails into the pyramids used to be power supply for the ancients?
Well, most of them have had a run-in with the law at some point, which makes them distrust authority, or their parents, I guess, is another possibility. And then they get someone who's in that situation looks for someone else to fill that gap, and they accept the authority of someone else, even though they're rebelling against authority. Yes, I know humans are weird, and so that's how Papa Flurfs get power, and Papa Flurfs take advantage of them, fill their head with nonsense, and because they want to fit in, they just believe it. It's stupid, but that's the way humans work.
Okay, I give you that point, right? But then, like, I come to you, I say, Hugh, I think that the Grand Canyon was made 4,400 years ago when the fountains of the Great Deep broke open and God was flooding the earth for 40 days. And
taking a piss.
Rubbish!
say,
It was giants. They dug it out of them. They made the moon out of the Grand Canyon.
oh God, you're going to confuse my mind even more. Because now which one
No, it was
do I
a broken
believe? Is it
dam.
giant or is it God?
Of course it was giants. What else would it be?
Don't forget the broken dam theory.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. That's
made
what
of sand.
I don't even know, guys. And I mentioned this yesterday. I don't even know where the fuck I
I
even
broke the dam.
This is a classic example of what I was saying earlier. They are tremendously creative in avoiding reality. And
That's what makes them so
That's
funny.
why.
Yeah.
This is what I
Because
want
they're
to know. What
fucking
is
idiots.
so scary? No, I refuse to believe that they are idiots. What I want to know is
Yeah.
why is reality so scary? I mean, I spent 4 years being homeless, right? I was homeless for 4 years. In that 4 years, I had to endure 2 personal attacks. And the one I had to literally run for my life. You've never seen a fat person run, I'm sure of it. I had to blitz for my life. No. Things happen in people's lives. But once you realize, if somebody comes to you and say, hey, my guy, that is actually not how that is. Maybe you can check it from this angle. I'm telling you, there's a better explanation. And I try to explain to you. And then you go check it out somewhere else and you realize, but wait a minute, that person was telling me what is true. And what about these other things I learned? Maybe they are all untrue. And yes, the whole entire the earth was covered in water thing is not true. And there are people who actually build all the subsequent information from the world was covered in water 4,400 years ago. And then when you try to tell them, no, this evidence actually shows this, and this corroborating evidence actually shows that, then they still refuse to accept it. And I refuse to stop at calling somebody, oh, they are just an idiot. That's why they are doing what they are doing. There are, I think, more circumstances that we are not seeing because they show us such a fucking idiotic side that we have no choice but to call them idiots, you know, and,
Well, we do it
and
more for
stop
entertainment, but yeah.
I'm sorry, but you know, from everything I learned, guys, there's so much to know, and Flurfs misunderstand so many things because they cherry pick and they goalpost shift and they do all these weird things that are not necessary and time wasting.
Stupid is as stupid does.
I mean, yes, and we've got a lot of people who have built their careers on just pointing out the stupid.
A lot of it's persecution complex as well, which is another human psychological trait.
Yes.
A lot of, I hate to pick on Christians, but a lot of Christians, and particularly the charismatic type, they go out preaching and people abuse them. People go out and abuse them for preaching on, you know, on planes and trains where it's a captive audience and you can't avoid them. And then they say, well, I'm storing up riches in heaven because I'm being martyred for Jesus by copying all this abuse. It's a similar thing with Flurfs, that we give them abuse and they think, oh, wow, we must be right because they're abusing us.
Yes, I've actually seen that argument, Hugh. That is also such a weak sauce argument. You know,
Well, it's a
I
psychological.
don't buy. I don't.
It's pretty much
Yeah.
established in psychology. So
Yeah, yeah. But for them to just use it as a cop out, I think deep down in the in the bottom of their psyche, where all their information is stored, they know that what they're doing is wrong and lying for the cause and all of that. They know it. They know what they are doing and why they are doing it. And you know, it's still, we are wasting so much time debunking things rather than using the information we have to build up, better things and other things and better lives and things.
Mm-hmm.
I agree
But
with
I'm
the sentiment,
grateful.
but the human race has always been like that.
Yeah, but we should have moved on. Look how far we've come in our civilization. Even though we have differences, we should, at least have self-awareness enough to say, okay, we've come this far now. We don't need to oppress another in order to get what we want. Let's just all live the good life that we have available to us. But many people don't do that and make other people's lives more painful, more miserable, more poverty stricken. And I don't see what the point of that even is. We are wasting time.
Yeah. I'd imagine
deep
we'd be living
for a
on
Sunday.
Mars by now if the anti-science people hadn't gotten their hooks in the...
Yes, and I wanted to bring that up also.
Yeah.
Yes, yesterday we were talking about how eased your back pain would be if you were on Mars or the moon, because the gravitational effects aren't as strong on those planets. And I mean, we wasted 1,600 basically years from the time Eratosthenes did that experiment, and Ptolemy knew that the Earth was a sphere, and he just refused to remove the Earth from the center of everything. If he had just, given that thought, hey, what if the Earth is not the center and we are, like all the other objects moving around up there, and I draw my observations that way, I think we would have been much further in our technological advances. He just refused to give that up. And then we had to wait, at least 1300 centuries, 1300 years before, 13 centuries before we've got the likes of the guy who came before Galileo. Can't remember his name now. He was the actual first guy who made, the guy who made the telescope before, but
Galileo.
Before Galileo, but after Copernicus, there was another guy. Somewhere his name is written here. I'll find it just now. But
when you said
those
Ptolemy,
guys,
did you mean Aristotle?
No, Ptolemy was watching. He was a geocentrist. Ptolemy was a geocentrist. He watched.
But then you talked about holding on to a certain point of view. That's probably more Aristotle, I would have thought. But maybe I'm mixing him up.
No, I'm talking about
blame
the
religion
actual
for it all.
planetary. No, the planetary observations. Aristotle watched the boats go over the horizon and stuff, but he didn't do what Ptolemy did. Ptolemy actually stood outside and drew pictures, circles of the objects he was seeing moving across the sky from night to night. But what he did was he put the Earth at the center of those observations, and he got interlooping, orbits with these objects doing funny things in the sky, like Venus's retrograde and things like that.
Yeah.
And
you're right. I
didn't
got confused.
think. Oh yeah, no, not Aristotle. Ptolemy was actually doing the observations. But he refused to move the Earth to the status of the other objects he was watching. This is also an object moving with the other objects, and maybe look at from a. But he was, I mean, he lived at like what 100 AD or something like that. So, or before Common Era. So obviously he didn't really think about those things. But if he did, if it clicked in his mind that, wait a minute, maybe I'm also one of those moving objects. That's why it's doing what it's doing. Then that knowledge would have already trickled down, and it wouldn't have taken us so long to make the telescope and then see Jupiter's moons. And then we get to, the guy who talked about gravity, Sir Isaac Newton. And then obviously it took a fucking another 300 years to solve a little bit more of that puzzle when we got Einstein. And, then we realized, but wait a minute, we are in a galaxy ourselves, and there are other galaxies out there, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know where we are now, but it took a hell of a long time.
I think if we were to move a lot of the money that we spend on fighting amongst ourselves from the armed services and all of that, and plunge that into science, humankind would just take off like nobody's business.
Yes.
We're just wasting way too much money and time on the wars.
Nonsense. Yes, we are wasting so much time hating on so many different people for so many I mean, if you don't like the same color as me, maybe I'll fight with you. What is that all about? That is not what brought us into, sentience and living the way we live right now. Corporation is what brought us to this point. We have so many luxuries. In fact, most of us don't even know about some of the luxuries available out there to people who are actually experiencing those things, And then you've got fucking people just building weapons and killing people. And, we've got the good ones making like medicines to help people. And then we've got the other ones.
Drumming up customers for us.
And we are all people. That's what kills me the most. I'm a person, they're a person. Yet they forget that other people are people.
Yep. It doesn't matter what color, race, creed, whatever. But we are, and when it all boils down to it, we're all human beings.
Except for Manly supporters. Bugger those guys.
Oi.
Oh, is that a sports ball reference?
It is. Sal won't understand because it's the Sydney one, I guess.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. I've been a man.
Ironically, I know who you're talking about myself.
What won't I understand? Sorry, I missed that.
No, I said Manly supporters. It's a running joke in the NRL, the rugby league competition here. Everyone hates Manly. Each weekend, everyone's going for two teams, their team and the team playing Manly. Of course, winning Manly is a different thing.
My kid is extremely mad about rugby. My youngest, whatever you say to him, what you going to do when you grow up? I'm going to play rugby. What are you doing now? Oh, I was playing rugby. What are you doing? I'm watching the rugby. It's very...
Beats taking drugs. Yeah. Cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
Don't make that joke about my kid. That's my kid.
Oh. That's not a joke.
No, there's no drugs. No.
Anything's better than taking drugs.
Yeah, I didn't make a joke about your kid.
No.
About my kid. No, don't make my jokes about drugs. About my kid, guys. That's my baby.
Well, we didn't, but yeah. But yes, that's fair enough. We wouldn't do that.
No.
Yeah, drugs are bad though, guys. Just don't do drugs.
Mippet's in the comments.
Hey.
Yeah, I know she's in the comment, but I need her to get into the live stream.
You wishful thinking there.
I'm waiting. No, she's gonna get in here. I already sent her the link.
All right.
Yeah, we need another lady in here to try and balance out the... Oh, she might be offended that I called her a lady. Hey.
Blokes.
Dragon.
That's okay. My neighbour yesterday commented on the fact that I was the only guy in a group of 3 women.
Is that neighbor of yours okay though?
He's fine.
Hang on. If it was a group of 3 women, were you counting yourself as a woman?
No.
Well, then it wasn't a group of 3 women, was it?
Yesterday it was.
No, it was a
You
group
were
of 3
there.
women and 1 man.
Fair enough. I'll concede that.
There you go.
See, I'm not a fliff.
You sure?
I won't argue the point. As sure as I
Just a
can be.
5-minute
How's
argument
that
or a full half hour? Yeah.
Yesterday, Peter was eating snacks and drinking something. I don't hear any crunching or munching
That
in the
sounds good.
background. Wait for Mupet and then we'll hear the bubbles.
You mentioned
Well, doing it
Mars.
from the bath.
You
I've been
mentioned
hearing
Mars.
something in the
No,
background all
not
the
that
time.
kind of bubbles. Don't be rude and crude. The smoking kind.
You said Mars
okay.
before.
I thought you meant like a bubble bath.
There you go.
No, why would I put Mupet on if she was in the bath? No, guys,
There
come
you go.
on.
Well, because she's not on camera, so
I
what
have
difference does
some
it make?
class. No. No, guys, please don't be in the bath and on my stream.
I mean, I'm naked now, but
No.
I'm naked now, but that's simply because I can't get clothes that fit me. So.
What, the tent company go out of business?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
just wearing rags now.
We have a PQ clothing here that makes extra size, Earth size clothes.
Well-
Would you like me to order you something?
Earth-size clothes, huh? Well, it might be a bit tight.
Oh,
Well,
God.
look
are
at
you
my
bigger
avatar
than the
and tell me if I need clothes.
I like to wear clothes. If there's an emergency, I can run.
Only takes 2 seconds to put a pair of pants on.
Yeah, but you're supposed to put them over your legs, not on your head.
That's my hair.
Anyway, you were saying something about Mars. I was going to ask if we could set up the Flat Earth Mars Society. Flat Mars Society, I should say.
What if it already exists? The sort of thing that people set up in anticipation.
I would suggest that there is probably a website out there that's devoted to something along those lines, yeah.
Well, there's a shirt.
I think
Oh, there's a musical artist called that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a Flat Mars Society T-shirt.
Yeah, well, if there's a T-shirt, there must be a society. So there you go.
You can't be serious.
Never
I
been
want
more
a
serious in my
T-shirt.
life.
All right, then.
But I don't want to give
Well-
any fluff any money for any reason. But I do want
totally
one
good.
of those cool, those it looks like a snow globe, but it's an actual flat Earth disc with like a clear dome,
Yep.
you know, over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sal,
want
do you
one
want
of
to
those.
add my screen share to
Yeah.
the stream, please?
Oh,
I've got a feeling somebody's already done a graphic of that. It'd just be a matter of getting a shirt made with it. I've been
That's
toying with the
something I
idea
like.
of putting my avatar on a shirt.
Oh, no, you can't. No, please, no.
what is this?
Flat Earth.
I like this
Society.
one. That's quite nice.
I can't see a thing.
Flat Mars
I
Society.
just
There
see
you go.
t-shirts. Oh.
Mars and flat.
That's not what the rovers said.
Let's see what the pink one looks like. There we go.
Ah, nah.
Nice pink one for you. Phil.
That's orange.
That's
Oh,
Well,
my
the
God,
orange
I'm-
riding on a
The
pink
shirt.
shirt.
Is the shirt
What's your favorite
pink? I
colour,
thought the
Sal?
shirt was white. My favorite
Shirt's
color is
pink.
black.
Black.
Oh yes.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
knew there was a reason I liked you,
How's that
Sal.
one?
Why? Oh, I love black.
So $16. I don't know if that's what currency that is, but
US.
I would think so. Yeah. What are we saying?
So
Small?
what's-
Sal?
So what we're
I'm
talking
an
about, like
extra.
20, 30 bucks.
I'm like a 3XL.
Really?
I'm the size of the earth.
No, that's me.
I think we are competing.
You're going to be Mrs.
I-
Jars, are you?
I said competing with you, not be your better half.
Oh dear.
Sorry, that was mean. That was mean. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't do that.
Well, you're better anyway.
I
so-
thought we were. More points. Where is my mom bakes cakes? What happened?
I'm
Lost
here.
his internet. But you're not talking too much.
Because you're talking a lot.
I
You
get
don't interrupt
interrupted
the
every
host.
time. I'm trying to say something and then
But I
somebody
get
interrupts
so
me.
deep that you guys. I get so deep that you guys don't stop me.
That's right.
Need to be more
I need
assertive,
to-
people.
No, it's your channel, Sal. We're not going to
Yeah,
interrupt
it's
you.
your channel. All right, so I'll do. Let's go here. Share
Till the
screen.
internet kicks her off, and then it's our channel.
Okay,
Yes,
let's
the
have a
internet
bit
loves to
of
kick
a
me off
comedy.
my-
Bit of a comedy
off
here
my own
with,
stream.
with Bev. Can you
Yeah,
go
that
share
is
screen,
hilarious.
please? Can you play that one, please?
Share
I'll play it in a
screen.
minute.
Me.
Anything
Yeah,
with Bev is comedy.
Oh, yeah, this is a classic.
Oh God, sorry. I don't know why I did that. There you go. What did
Yeah,
you need me to do?
Let's,
I can't
let's-
share.
let's
Oh,
accept.
present. I must share
Yeah.
screen.
Whatever. No. Hey,
I
did it
don't know
before.
why you want me to choose what to share.
I'm sharing screens.
Oh, okay. How do I close this now?
I dropped in the private chat a video you might like to play when you're ready, Sal.
That's a whole other thing because I have to send it to my file.
Okay, so I can
and-
just share
Oh,
my
no.
screen and play it for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to close the screen now. Where's the X on it?
Oh.
Because I press choose what to share.
I'm sharing screen. I'm trying. We did it before. So what happened there? Never mind.
I don't
I'll
know
stop sharing.
because I pressed.
Don't worry. It's all
Oh
right.
God.
It's okay. I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, but I don't get out of here now. And no. How do I? Oh, there.
Should I do it again?
Screen sharing was
screen.
cancelled. Okay, I stopped it.
Well, I'm
Okay,
showing you a
okay,
video
but-
that features your friend Flatsoid. Only goes for a minute. Oh, you're sharing it now. All right, cool.
Yep.
Let's play then.
Hello, my pet. Darling.
Hi guys.
G'day.
Why is there a child's face? Why is this playing here? What is this?
It's what I'm sharing.
Flatzoid.
Yeah, but what is it? I don't get it. I don't hear any sound or anything.
I need a sound.
I am sharing sound.
You can't hear any of it.
No. Can't hear it there, Hugh. But that was good. That was a good video, though. Try
Welcome,
mine
my
now.
pet. How's it going?
Mippet.
Hey guys.
Hey, Mip.
Hey, I've been.
Try
Can you
mine.
hear me
Which
okay?
one?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you.
Loud and clear.
That's okay.
5
Did the
by
video
5.
not come through, by the way, guys?
It
The
came
video
through,
did,
we
but
just
the no audio.
audio.
No, I shared the audio. Oh,
Yeah. I think I've seen that clip myself,
Yeah.
but can't remember what it was about.
well, it's Flatzoid getting 35 times 1,000 wrong.
Ah,
But Wolfie's 5-year-old daughter getting it right.
There you go.
That's the one. Yeah, I recall it now.
Yep.
Oh,
So what have you been up to, Mip?
Not much lately. Sort of hang out here and there. I haven't been very well, to be honest. So
I was going to say you don't sound the best.
oh yeah, I've got sinuses at the moment too. So it's just like, yeah. One day you can talk, the next day you can't. The next day your nose is blocked to hell. Let's go.
I don't know, but yeah.
I'm going to leave you for a few minutes. I gotta go down to work quickly. I'll be back soon.
Not a problem.
Take over the show.
We've got power.
Oh dear. Damn it, we can't play videos and stuff without her accepting.
No, we can't. We can't do nothing.
Bugger. Oh well. It's worth a thought.
Well, how have you been, Hugh?
Oh, a bit fat lately.
Just a bit.
Well,
a
I'm
lot
losing. I'm losing. So fucking give me my fat back.
Well, I'm good at losing fat too. I'm just even better at getting it back.
I'm just yeah.
You keep losing it, but it keeps finding you.
I wish it would find
Brings
me.
its friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's unhealthy and I don't like it. I don't like being unhealthy like this. I mean, that might sound weird, but I've been on the other end as well. I've been on your end, Hugh.
Well, that could take a while.
Well, I used
Being
to
on
be.
my end.
Shut up.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
can't
the full
sympathise
journey.
with that because, yeah, I've been the same weight I've been since I left high school, I think. Give or take 5 or 10 kilos.
My family say I put on a few kilos. Just whatever.
My biggest problem is I've got beer gut and I don't even drink the stuff.
That's when you start that's when you get your mates and say, $1 beer or $2 a beer. Come round, let's have a party.
And but did you get the part where Flatzoid said that we don't have a time zone here?
Oh, was it we don't or we
No,
shouldn't
that was Banjo,
have?
wasn't it?
Oh, Banjo, sorry, yeah, Banjo, yeah, but
Yeah.
Banjo he said we don't
Yeah,
have
the
a
South Australian time zone doesn't exist, according to him.
Oh.
Doesn't count. It's only half an hour.
Yeah.
Why? Who appointed him the judge of that?
Well, if you live in the middle of 2 time zones, you're in the middle of 2 time zones. What's the fucking problem? That means you're
But it's
half
still
an
its own
hour.
time zone.
Yeah.
He doesn't think it is, but he doesn't understand what a time zone is.
No.
He thinks it's dependent on the shape of the Earth. No, the time zone's a political thing.
Exactly. It was this
Yeah.
government that probably decided on it.
I think he wanted
mean,
to produce a new video with explaining the time zones in Australia, just having 2 because they're keeping the middle one a secret. Like, what are you talking about? Every Australian knows we've got 3 time zones. Ask them.
4 in the summer.
Yeah, that's a point. 4 in the summer. I
Yeah.
like the fact that I don't have to change my clocks all the time.
Wish I didn't. I hate fucking daylight savings. It's fucking
Well, years
pain
ago, I
in
was
the-
in IT, and they did a study, and they figured out, this is early 90s, they figured out that it takes 200 staff years each year to cope with daylight saving
Yeah.
in Australia. 200 staff years. So 200 times, say, 100,000 a year. That's a fair bit of money.
Yeah.
Just to change the clocks. Because it's not just the clocks, the physical clocks, because, no one really cares about public clocks. But it's more the computer thing, because especially bank transactions, they happen.
Yeah.
So it's 2 o'clock becomes 3 o'clock, that's probably not so bad. But coming back the other way, when 3 o'clock becomes 2 o'clock, there's two o'clocks when daylight saving ends.
Yeah.
So how do bank transactions work if it's supposed to happen at a certain time and all that sort of thing? So there's
That's
a fair
probably
bit
where
of
all
IT
the-
work that goes into that.
That's probably where all the rich people are getting all their money from. They're getting that
Yeah, you get
extra
paid
hour
twice.
of money. Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, that's got to be, because it's the only reason I can come up with that. Why they want to keep daylight savings? I mean, it's a stupid idea when it's all said and done. And
it depends on what latitude you're at, and how big your state is.
I've lived in South Australia and in Queensland, and in both cases, I would much prefer not to have daylight savings, especially down south, because I used to do a milk run at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you're a special case, I'd say.
Yeah,
in summer,
special case.
in summer, because the light was still up at around 10 o'clock at night, I wouldn't get to sleep soon enough, and I'd have to be up at 3 o'clock to do a milk run, and I'd be buggered.
But that's what people are actually going for. That's why they do it. Like places like Hobart, you do have that twilight right up till 11 o'clock at night. So you can go out and do things. Of course, it's still freezing cold because it's Hobart. But
why would you want to?
But daylight saving makes more sense at high latitudes, of which Australia doesn't really have any, apart from Hobart. No. That's not even high. It's not even halfway to the pole.
Mm-hmm.
And we're much wider on the flat Earth than we are in reality.
Yeah, and that's the other part of it. You've got a state like Queensland where you could have the daylight saving in the southeast corner, but and where I am too. But if you're out at Mount Isa, that's going to be the sun isn't going to match up to the clocks very well because it's 1,500 kilometres across. Western Australia is about the same, I think, from memory.
Yeah, it's a big place.
Yeah, so it's the first place they had daylight saving was West Virginia or some state in America that's only like 200 kilometres across and at a high latitude. That's where it makes sense. It doesn't make sense the closer you get to the equator, and it doesn't make sense the bigger your political division that you need to keep the time for.
Well, we know one thing for sure: flips don't make sense anyway. So there we go.
Yeah.
It's
Another man that thinks of something stupid to do, you know.
Go into politics. That's about the stupidest thing I can think of.
Did you see that one where the guy went up to the council and said he wanted the NASA budget vetted?
Oh God, yes.
Shit.
I can't believe he did that.
So can I.
Oh God,
I mean,
who's
seriously
doing that?
Oh, I watched that only recently too.
Yeah.
I may have seen it, but not.
Is that
Was it Creaky Blinder? Was it Creaky?
No,
if it
that
was
would have been
Creaky, I would
yesterday.
have
I saw
seen
Creaky.
it.
I keep thinking it was Team Skeptic, but I don't think it was. It was one of those channels at any rate. Hold up, I'll bring up my history. I'll tell you exactly.
Find it now. Who was it?
I know my way around YouTube fairly well these days.
Oh, good.
Of course, it means my computer's running slow again. Try to do two things at once on this computer and it just freezes up. That's what happens when you're, 10, 11 years old now, I think it is. Yeah, about 11 years old, this computer. And it's a laptop to start with, so it's got half the power of a desktop.
Oh.
Okay.
Purple's written. I'm just south of the Canadian border, and I still say daylight savings time makes no sense. No one gets up at sunrise. So,
well, I tend to disagree with that because I'm always up. Where are we? Okay, my history is finally up now. Can I scroll down? Texas.
I can't find it.
It's coming. It's coming. It's not just breathing heavy.
Well, just thinking, you said you're a milkman, so you know, a lot of
thought
the population increase in your
I was
rounds.
just going to say, we thought you were just, busy for a moment.
Busy ways than one. Yeah.
My eldest daughter was conceived by the milkman. That was me.
I was just going to say, you were a milkman for a while, obviously.
Yes, what about your youngest?
That was me. That was definitely me. Oh, no, not that one. Oh, crap. I thought that was it for a second, but no. That's all about flat belt splicing. Oh, God, this is so slow. I watch too many YouTubes. I might have to cull my subscriber list.
Yeah, free up some space.
Yeah. I might get rid of some of the big ones. I prefer the smaller channels. More of a chance to be heard in the chat then. Oh no, that's Sal's one. Did I watch it before or after that? Must have been before. God, this is so slow. Sorry for all you people out there that are waiting on
Hey,
me.
Boomer, how you doing?
Yeah.
Sal just had to pop out. Get this, she's popping out to go to work. She'll be back in a moment.
You've taken over the channel.
Yeah, no, she'll be back in a minute or two or
Oh,
three.
there you go. It was Creaky Blinder.
Yeah, it was
Florida
Creaky.
man calls for investigation into NASA.
That's it.
Oh, God. How long is it?
Not long. 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, Creakies aren't usually all that long.
No.
Just wait for it to show up on here, and I'll tell you exactly how long it is.
13 minutes, I said.
Is it?
Yep, 13 minutes and 6 seconds.
It is too. There you go. See, you're faster than my computer.
I got a good computer here.
Yeah, one day I'll build another one.
I built a few of them.
Yeah, I've built all of mine except for these damn laptops that people gave me to fix and that I fixed and they didn't want back.
You should sell them if you don't want them.
And who was, I think...
nobody will buy a 10-year-old computer.
Yeah, no one. I think someone else was trying to put together a... no, that was Witzer and the crew were trying to get together a NASA legal thing going, to get NASA to get, on board with their budgeting or something like that.
It's all out in the public. If you want to know about NASA, you just go and look. For fuck's sake.
Oh, but all the photos are fake, remember?
Oh, God. So frustrating.
All right, guys, I think I need to call it quits there, so I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Hugh.
No worries. Thanks for joining in.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah.
Good to talk to you all.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Yeah, first time we get to talk to Hugh. Yay!
Never spoken to a celebrity before.
No,
not such a big one at any rate.
I mean, your name was your name was spoken so greatly on Team Skeptic and others. It's you. We love you.
But yes. All right, guys. See you later. Have a good weekend. Well,
no worries.
Yeah, for you guys, it's not a long weekend, is it? It is for me. Well, one guy's from Queensland, so.
Yeah, that'll be right. You're all having
I don't know. I don't work, so every day's a long weekend to me.
Well, tomorrow's Labor Day for us, which is the most confusing holiday. It's Labor Day, but we take a day off Labor to celebrate Labor.
Yeah,
I don't understand that. Anyway,
it's a day off so that we can all go parade around the streets, bearing signs saying, all the bad things about Labor.
Koala bear?
Yeah.
Wrong spelling.
Drop bear.
See you later.
See ya.
See ya, Hugh.
Ah, so cool. So cool. That's one of the YouTubers that I would have I've been wanting to meet for a while.
Who?
Yeah.
Hugh.
Who?
Yeah.
Hugh's
Hugh's on first.
Who's on first?
Hugh
I
is
don't know.
first. Hugh's the whole pitch. Or field. Baseball's a field, isn't it? Yeah.
I remember Tiger Dan used to be on he used to have a YouTube channel. He was a flat earther, and then he looked at the southern flights, which he started to question, and a lot of flat earthers, raged against them, and he soon deleted his channel. But he turned around from being a flat earther to a normal person, same as STST. Which is good to see that they say, oh, once you go flat you can't go back, which is totally untrue, because a lot of flat earthers who, when shown that this flat earth thing is absolutely insane.
Ranty.
Yeah,
I love Ranty.
Yeah, he's cool.
Every time he shows pictures, it's like more evidence of the globe. It's like, okay, yeah, he's showing us the globe again there, Ranty.
You can only do that so many times. Surely to God, you've got to be able to see that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And apparently a couple have.
And then, what made me laugh, like when Mitchell said, oh, the sextant's going to prove the flat earth, the tool of flow. I'm thinking, are you freaking serious? These people have been using the sextant for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
What? Are you crazy?
I don't even know exactly how, well, I didn't at the time know how a sextant works, but even I could tell you that it would probably prove the earth is round. Yep. I mean, seriously. How do you navigate around a globe without knowing where you are on the globe with some instrument that can measure the globe?
Oh, and then the flat out hero, his flight challenge, he clearly stated using the things that the pilots use, navigation maps. And then, 3 pilots come up and say, Wolfie, MC Toon. Oh, no, you got to use paper. Move the goalpost. You got to use paper charts. No one was using paper charts. Oh, for frick's sake.
That's what all the soccer clubs should do, is employ the flurfers to move goalposts. They're so good at it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it might be time to open some bickies or something. Starting to feel a bit
yeah, I think Terry is not very well. He hasn't done a show for a while. From what I hear.
Oh, I forgot I had muffins in the fridge.
I haven't seen anything from. Gotta go see what he's doing. Lindsay. Oh, Lindsay used to crack me up.
Oh, Lindsay, yeah. And who's the other? There's a guy who's worse than Lindsay. I'm just trying to think.
Well, there was a Lemon Bird. Lemon Bird used to get really up my nose, and then there's his counterpart, Lemon Bird, and the other guy. Can't remember his name now. Schemo. That's it.
Yeah.
Those two.
Yeah, I've had words with both of them in the past.
Wow.
Oh, would you like me to take or give you a link to one? No, I better not. It's a really bad place.
Okay.
Yeah, no. If I give you a link to this Discord.
I don't want to go Discord. No thanks. No.
Good.
I know.
I'm so glad you picked the right answer.
Yeah,
you can DM me if you like.
Because I know FTFC and that go into the that Discord, whatever it's called, that zone they go into to get them to arc up and challenge him, and I couldn't be bothered going. I tried, and they booted me out straight away. So whatever. No, can't be bothered with them. I'm not a fan of Discord much, really.
No, I love it.
Yeah, okay. I'm the opposite. All the flirts are going to TikTok these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do not have an account for TikTok.
No.
don't do anything like that. I apparently do have, I do have Messenger, and that's so that I can stay in touch. My daughter set that up for me when she lived in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Because it was we needed to stay in touch. And we used Skype, and then she set up Facebook so that we could messenger and do the video calling thing.
Well, you need to get her on Discord. Seriously,
So,
it's much better.
Yeah, I got them both on, and then they moved over here like 10 minutes away. So,
No, 10 minutes is 10 minutes. You can get there instantaneously on Discord.
well, yes.
Yeah, the thing I like about Discord is it's relatively secure. The only people on your server are people that you invite. And if you want, you can kick them off real quick.
Okay.
And to get on anybody else's server, you need an invite.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. I'll go with that.
With Facebook, you just type in somebody's name, and if you like, you just follow them. And there's no control at all.
No.
Admittedly, you can be kicked off from a Facebook account, I think, but.
Oh, you remember Nathan saying he's got the biggest Facebook group in on the world, and you got kicked. Oh, so sad.
No, it was just deleted 5 minutes ago. I remember him saying that on a stream.
Yeah, and crying. Oh, crying. Whatever.
Yeah. That reminds me so much of that Glenda video saying he's you can't arrest a god. I am God. And yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say stupid shit, and you won't have to say
No. I mean, Mikey Smith and his barometer, or not barometer, his thing to measure the heat source from the sun.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Oh,
these people. Oh, that was funny.
Oh God! I haven't laughed this much in years.
Who else was there? And I've got if you go to my channel, I've got the short clip from Terry's crew in regards to Bev. I was going to try and screen share it where Bev tries.
Okay, I'll try to get onto it, Boomer.
Yeah, it was so funny.
She said she was only going to go for about 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's been gone longer than that.
Where is she?
Yeah, wow. Time is relative.
The link in the into her stream into Discord there. Elton. Pete.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I got a mouthful of muffin.
Okay. Mouthful of nothing. The mouthful of muffin.
Is there any way for one of us to bring Boomer into the chat?
I don't think we can we? I don't know how.
No.
Okay, so we have to wait for Sal.
Yeah.
All right. Sal.
Where are you, Sal?
Hang on, I'm just getting on to her. Crap, there she is. Oh, no, hang on, I'll do it this way.
Yeah, if we can get back to that one. Let's go to here. And even Sal says that she's got the flatsoid in her area, and it's like anyone living down south. You got Australia, South America, South Africa, and we can all see the same star constellation. Southern Cross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to see this fictitious North Star. Never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I should be able to on the flat Earth.
Oh yeah, and another thing I point out to flat earthers, because they often bring up their hero, or the heroes, I should say, well, one of the heroes, which would be Admiral General James Lieutenant Colonel James Byrd, right? The guy who went to Antarctica and discovered the place, the bigger, as big as America. And they go, okay, if he's gone there, how did he get there past the ice wall? And they go,
Yep. Yeah. They just can't seem to get it together enough to get the story straight.
No, right?
It's just too many stories to be able to be believable.
Yeah, and then I say, what about they'll go about NASA. So fine, NASA's just one aerospace company. The other one, the most other famous one, is the Russians. They've been actually, they sent the first man into space, the first woman into space, but no flat earthers ever mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, but they're commies. That's what they'd say.
Yeah. And they're working with NASA. NASA paid them. Yeah. Okay, sure.
I wish they would have worked with NASA more. Seriously, the cooperation that NASA and Roscosmos had together, just advanced our knowledge in space and on Earth as well, just so much.
You remember Skylab?
Mm-hmm. I certainly do. I was in SA at the time when it landed.
There you go. I pointed out to them, and they go, "Oh, we didn't know that." Well, there you go.
Yeah. Actually, I know of a guy who's actually got a piece of that.
Yeah, well, easy.
Well, he did have. I don't know if he's still alive, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So and they say satellites are fake, we've got the guy Elon Musk sending these giant rockets into space with Starlinks to give us more coverage of places, and yet no, that exists. Nope. Yeah.
All the while utilizing that exact same technology to be able to tell you about it.
Exactly right, and they're sitting in their car. They're using the mobile phone to do TikTok videos, and they're not putting the two, one and one together to say, "I'm using this technology to do this video. How does this technology actually work?" No, I don't know. I don't get.
Satelloons.
Yeah.
God,
I love that word.
Sal said she wasn't going to be long, didn't she?
Yeah. How long is the fish
Only
string?
minute. Twice as long as half its length.
That's right.
Because it's
Well,
just
my
that
mum used to say,
Boomer's
that long and a bit more.
Yeah, Boomer's sitting out in the chat, and he's trying to get in.
We'll get to you, Boomer. We'll get to you as soon as she comes back. Please be patient. So Sal's gone looking for flirts.
Sure, there's got to be a hack for how to do it. But I can't be asked to work it out.
No, once you start a streamline, you got to, it's. I think you can't add anyone to it. I don't know.
No, I have heard of a workaround for that, but I haven't looked into it. I'm being a good boy these days.
Wouldn't the link be? The link would be on the Discord. You send the link down there. She's got the link there in StreamYards.
Yeah, I've given him the link.
But that only gets
and now
you
he's
into
sitting.
Right.
Sitting waiting for the knocking at the door.
I see. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. Sitting in the green room.
All right.
Yeah, I've got no message back from her on my Discord, so whatever she's doing, she's busy doing it.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Just gonna.
That Sal has to let me in. Yeah, we know. I should have kept up with computer studies and stuff. I would have found a back door for something like this by now. Problem is, this StreamYard is actually very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was expecting a whole heap more options down below.
It's pretty simple. It's not as technically advanced as Zoom, but it's not too bad. Not too shabby. It works.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Zoom either. I've used it, but I'm not a big fan of it. If I'm going to talk to somebody, it's going to be on Discord.
All right.
Quick, easy, and it works straight away every time.
I like Telegram.
I've been looking into OBS and
OBS, yep.
What's that other one? Melon and there's another one I can't think what it is, but I've been looking into all of them and stuff.
OBS is easy.
Yeah, there's a lot of options in OBS, and I like that, but I don't like their labeling system. They label things as if you know what they should be, and yeah.
Okay. Learning curve.
Yeah. Thing is, though, that all of these things connect really great with YouTube, but they don't connect with anything else that I want to connect to.
Right.
Like, I mean, I could stream something that I'm doing in Discord onto my YouTube channel, not a problem. But I don't do YouTube videos. I want to do something like this and stream it onto my Discord channel.
Right. Yeah, I think Red was saying something similar with the Twitter having it like a share space, and I think Twitter has share space, but you can't.
Yep.
It's very difficult to share things via that format. And he was complaining about that and thinking, oh, whatever.
Yeah, Twitter's another one that I don't go on either.
No.
That's mainly because back in the day it was just a certain amount of characters and that was all you could do type of thing. And by the time you were halfway through reading it, your next tweet had come in and you'd have to read that one and stuff. And yeah, no, I didn't like Twitter.
It's expanded since then, but there we go.
I know it has. I've gotten plenty of links on my Discord to Twitter, and you can watch them without signing in, but it's easier if you can sign in. But yeah. I don't want to sign in.
No.
Don't want to get hooked into that shit. Next thing you know, I'll have Elon Musk tweeting me.
God.
Which I suppose wouldn't be a bad thing. I'd put my case forward for a free trip to Mars so that I can experience the lesser gravity on my poor back.
Well, this is the thing, like, the flat earthers will say, they'll go on about NASA, and then they go on about the moon mission or the fake moon missions, or we didn't land on the moon and whatever. And I remember being glued to the TV. I had a black and white TV. It was what, I can't remember how younger was, and watching it in black and white and seeing the guy put his first man on moon, and he's lying there. I'm thinking, wow, that was just so amazing to see that.
I was 2 years old at the time, but I don't recall it specifically, but I do recall the sort of anticipation and being told to watch this because it's going to be history and this, that, and the other. But being a 2-year-old, I probably crawled off somewhere to do something else. But yeah, I do recall that sort of feeling of the time, and I've since watched it back, hundreds of times. It's history in the making. That's why I watch all of the that's not what he was supposed to say, don't you?
Yeah, but he said it anyway, and they try to change it to make it more political correct, and there you go.
Yep. Yeah. One of the reasons
they've been back there, they've landed back on the moon, about 16 times, 15.
That is history in the making.
Yeah, and they've been back there, the moon, 14, 15 times, I think.
Yeah. So most of those
didn't
were
just
crashes,
go once.
Though. It's like
didn't just go once.
The Japanese just dropped a rover on the moon, and it died when it landed. It's a real pity because that one would have been a real cool one to watch.
Yeah. Well, I know Leo complained about the Chinese space program and the flap on the ISS, and thinking, oh my God, why he's so fixated about NASA and the ISS? Because every time he shows it, it just gives more evidence that the thing actually exists.
Yeah. The fact that you've got the video to start with tells you that it exists.
Yeah, right.
Despite it being CGI or whatever he wants to think it's called, right? It exists.
Yeah.
Right? You've got video proof of it right in front of you.
Yep.
Stop showing everybody if you want people to think that the Earth is flat.
And then they go do the harness thing, talk about the harnesses and all these actors. What are you talking about? They're doing circles and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've never seen somebody in a harness be able to do a 360-degree spin without getting tangled up.
Correct. I mean, I watched quite a few.
Yeah, I don't mean just around 360 degrees either. I mean over the top, under the back, round the side, and doing the whole globe thing. Yeah,
I watch a lot of kung fu movies, and they don't. Their harnesses are pretty good, but not like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those cables that rip them back when they get punched. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Or the ones where they're jumping into the air and they hang time for like 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's all fun. I used to love the old kung fu movies. Bruce Lee and
I remember going to Mipper would know this. We went down to the Capri, which is down Goodwood Way, and they had the first 3D kung fu movie. It was freaking hilarious.
With the blue on one side, red on the other side.
Yeah.
Stapled together fucking glasses. They were just, they were just cardboard fucking.
Yeah, I've never been to a 3D movie.
I haven't. I went and saw Avatar 2 in 3D.
I did. Wow.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that movie, by the way?
My mum took me.
I never did no such thing.
I really enjoyed. Well, I enjoyed it, but hey,
there's a lot of people out there dumping shit on it, and I don't know why, because I've seen it, and I reckon it's bloody awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was, it was, as a standalone movie as well. It's good.
Yeah, well, that's right.
You know what I mean?
It can be a standalone too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what people bitch about. That's just it, isn't it? People need something to bitch about.
Oh, look, you want to go another tangent? Look at the all the bitching about the Harry Potter Legacy game that came out.
You see, I don't.
If you don't like it, don't play it. End of story.
Exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. But,
I used to yell at the television when people were complaining about all the nudity and sex on TV. I say, well, change the fucking channel then, you idiot.
Yeah, well, turn the fucking thing off. Listen to your fucking listen to the radio or listen to you fucking put a record on or whatever.
I was going to say put a record on, but that was going to show my age.
Yeah, well, I know. You sort of have to,
slip a cassette into the deck.
SBS used to be good for that, having the foreign movies like that.
Yeah, I would like a good foreign movie. Gives me something to read while I'm watching.
Yeah. Anyway.
What was the other movie I watched the other night? I watched Avatar, and then I watched something else. What was it? So many on my hard drive. I need to catch up a bit. Stop watching YouTube a bit and catch up on my movies and TV series. Yep. What do you guys think of musicals?
I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan?
Oh. No.
Okay.
Not a fan. I went and saw Cats. Actually, went and saw Cats at the when it was here in the opera thing, Adelaide, whatever it's called. So I went there. It was okay.
Yeah, the festival centre. Yeah.
Yes. And so I've seen a few. It was all right. You know, it's a lot of singing. It's like, and this is what I don't particularly like. Watch Sound of Music. That's got a lot of singing in it.
Oh, I love Sound of Music. It's one of my favorites.
It's okay,
Um,
but most of them with singing, can be a bit of a cringe.
Yeah, I used to love watching the old black and white Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers
classic.
movies.
Yes,
they were beautiful. I loved them. But these days, a lot of TV series are coming out as musicals.
They are.
And the one I'm watching at the moment is called Schmigadoon.
Nope, haven't heard that one.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I like it.
And Boomer. Yes, it is a bit like Terry's, but it's, you can drink and say fuck and say whatever the fuck you want, pretty much. And
Terry,
that's what happens to, people when they fuck off and do shit, lets us do whatever the fuck we want.
well,
So-
Southern Sound doesn't mind. She swears quite a bit too.
Oh, yeah, she's like, yeah. That's why we get on so well. We just swear at each other.
I usually don't swear as a rule.
Nah, not me.
And then you get next to me and everything like that goes to hell.
Especially when I'm texting in the chats and stuff like that. I always put an @ symbol when I write fuck or a exclamation mark for the I in shit and stuff like that.
I just think
in
the
other
way,
people's, in
my own server as well.
Yeah.
But since I've been on a few streams like this,
yes,
my tongue is sort of loosened up again. I've worked in heavy industry. You don't work in heavy industry without learning how to swear. So, I can swear with the best of them. I feel so self-conscious when I do it.
Yeah.
My mum brought me up right.
Yeah, I just like to use other words in the English language compared to what you could actually use. But there we go.
I was actually shocked to hell to find out that my mum can swear better than I can. And she can drink better than I can too. Crikeys. Never seen that woman put away so much booze in my life. She was totally sober every time I saw my mother growing up. She was totally sober. And we went to my second daughter's? Yeah, I think it was my second daughter's wedding. And she got stuck into the booze, something chronic. I had 6 beers and nearly passed out. I needed the Dutch courage to do the father of the bride's speech and the waltz and stuff as well. But yeah, I paid for that the next morning. Oh God, did I pay for that? 6 beers. Oh, these days,
at least when you wake up after those 6 beers, you still got 6 beers of memory, whereas most of us don't even have that. So,
well, I'm only going on what I was told.
Right.
Okay, 'cause I lose a lot of memory when I drink. But I do recall being up on stage with the microphone and saying something. Don't know what it was. Apparently, it was pretty good. And I do recall dancing with my daughter. That was apparently okay. But yeah, the rest of it, all I can remember is eating lots of mini pizzas and drinking lots of free beer. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, who's chopping?
No, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to be sorry.
I think when Hugh was on earlier, I could hear one of his hard drives ticking away. It was damned annoying.
Sort of in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. It was very quiet and very. It specifically sounded like one of my old hard drives. ticking away. And it usually sounded more so when he said, "Oh, I'm just sending you something, Sal. Put it up on the screen." You could hear his little hard drive go, type of thing. Speaking of Sal, where is she? I mean, seriously.
Went down. Yeah, she said, "I'm just gonna go downstairs and to do something, and I won't be long."
Oh, I suppose you can't hurry her.
Maybe she's walking to work.
What happens if she doesn't come back? Are we stuck here permanently?
Let's leave.
I think
Actually, I've been on some live streams in Discord where you pop in and you hear somebody's fallen asleep and forgotten to shut down the stream.
Yeah.
It happens a lot on Mallory's Asylum.
The
Really?
Asylum, yeah.
I haven't been to
It's
hers.
fun. You want a link? I'll give you a link if you want.
Yeah, give me the link because she's quite funny.
Okay, where are you on Discord?
Who are you looking for?
Sal's room.
Oh, Sal's server.
I am back.
Hey!
Nice.
Fuck
gosh.
with that.
Quick,
Fucking
fight all
hell.
the drugs.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Give us
Whew.
a bit of a scare.
Paying the rent.
It's because
You got a whoop.
yeah,
Sal's gone to whoop and come back.
that was hectic. And it is so warm outside.
Where are we?
Oh, must I let people into the thing?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
There you
We ran out of
go.
people to talk to.
Yeah, me. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yay!
You can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Get off my lawn. What are you doing? Where have you been, Phil? I've been waiting here forever. I made a coffee and
I
drank
went
it.
to pay the rent.
Oh,
I went to
okay.
pay
We
the
got to pay
rent.
the rent.
It is
Oh, I was thinking you might have
Yeah.
had one of those power cuts, and because your StreamYards was
no.
left on, if you had a power cut, you were turning everything back on, and that would be a pain in the ass. Anyway,
I did.
how are we all?
Yeah, I did tell the guys that and my pet that I gotta quickly go back to work. So
Yeah,
well,
I
had
heard that
to
on
go
the
pay the
stream.
rent for the shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
I heard that on the
And,
stream, and I thought, oh, damn, I was just getting in because it takes a few minutes to get into my computer too. Yeah, while I was sitting there, I heard you
and
say
it
that.
is
and I
way
thought,
on the other side of this property, so it's a
fair
good
enough.
almost a kilometer trek from where I am to where
I
I
wanted
had to
to-
pay the rent.
yeah. I wanted to catch up with Hugh Jars too because it's been a couple of years since I've been in his presence. We used to stream with him. But anyway, hey guys, want to know if you've discovered yet, or you probably know, but you know about Bob Nodell? Thanks, Bob.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
have you spoke of that or not?
Yeah, shame
No.
about that. And even though people say you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, I'm sorry, that guy proved the fucking motion of the earth. He's a legend as far as I'm concerned.
But look, the thing about Bob, I think he was one of those ones who just went along like the average flat earther, like, yeah, we know it's crap. We'll just see what we can milk it for. And then it turned into a bit more of a grift. Then suddenly Behind the Curve emerged, and he's on TV thinking, what the fuck? And so then he's doing that. What was that thing at the barbecue? Oh, if this gets out, it will not look good.
Yep.
The thing about Bob, he was a bit of a klutz, but he wasn't your nasty type klutz. He wasn't degrading like Quantum Eraser or Nathan Thompson. He wasn't an obnoxious bloke like, thanks, Bob, proving the globe and all that. I mean, to me, he was a harmless, there are neurotics who believe the Earth's flat, and then there are psychotics who say, you're neurotic because the Earth's flat. And then the neurotic says, you're psychotic because you believe me. I was just tricking. Well, I was just tricking too. And life goes on. Yeah, so I actually didn't mind Bob Nodell. And when I kind of saw the Twitter thing from his wife, Tammy, I think it was, it sort of sunk home that, yeah, he's one I kind of, I'm a bit sad for Bob. Like he's got relations and friends, and If it was others, I wouldn't give them the steam off my shit because those people who flat smack or flatter day saints who actually goes and flat smacks nuns and they run away. Like there are some real pieces of work out there who use flat earth just to get in people's faces. They're the ones I don't like.
Bob was a half decent flirt.
He was.
Yeah. Who?
Bob.
Bob was a half decent flirt.
Yeah, and ranty. And there's a few over at the certain servers that just go in there, and you can tell they're trolling. They're just conspiratards. Like you can hear them laughing in the background while they say, and Bill Clinton's a clone and all that sort of stuff. Like
I've already warned them all about fucking flat earth servers. Warned them all off.
Yeah.
I've told them you don't need to go there or your brain will melt out your ear. I mean, that's probably the best sort of outcome you could go for.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of right nutcases. Like you guys know of Pete O'Shea, who he is just, I don't think Discord's a good place for him. But Discord servers themselves are like, it'd be a great place to run a business out of. If you were like a bakery or something, you could actually use your Discord server to communicate with things. And other people, they don't benefit from it. But yeah, anyway.
Totally underutilized.
It's a bit like a keyboard, as in like a musical one. It's white keys and black keys, but you got to sort of sit there and work out how to play the drums and how to do all the stuff with it and then make a song. I think Discord's the same. It's sort of like a pub, really, isn't it? Like a cyber pub, would you think?
I would have said a club, but yeah, I get that analogy.
Yeah. And like you can go there and voice chat. I've set one up with regards to a football team, an AFL team. Yeah, Mighty Magpies won by a point today. Woo! Down by 24 points. We came back to win in the last 20 seconds of the game over Adelaide. So suck shit, you South Australians. Hey, this is all Aussies except for Sel. And we're all Southern Hemispherians, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And is that my mum as in my mum bakes cakes?
Yeah, it is. One of the
Oh, I've never had the pleasure, my friend. You came on about a year and a half ago? I'm guessing maybe 2 years.
Oh, maybe longer. Who knows?
Yeah, you're with. I've seen you in Team Skeptics chats and places like that.
I comment everywhere because like the flat Earth thing is just so funny.
Oh, it's getting a bit old now. They really don't have anything new. That's the bigger issue about it. They used to be funny. You had to laugh at them wriggling their way out and changing the subject. But at the end of the day, when you look at that Eric Dubai thing, I mean, 200 proofs. Well, there's really only about 3 in there if you call them proofs, and that's 60 different versions of each.
Yep.
Like, the way he does tides. They leave. I think the guy that watches Cool Hard Logic. Is anyone familiar with his work?
Yes, that was the guy who got me into the flat Earth movement. Was Cool Hard Logic.
With all due respect to Fight the Flat Earth and team and conspiracy cats and all those guys, no one's advanced the cause more than Cool Hard Logic. Like his clips were brilliant. They were state of the art. They're 5 years old and they still haven't dated. I mean, he's so funny the way he uses Cletus and all those idiot flat earthers. He makes them look like dickheads. No one's advanced it past him. He's the duck's guts, and he's got such a beautiful voice.
Conspiracy Cats comes a close second.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Yeah. Is it something you can really, I don't know, sink your teeth into? It's not really a big basis of comedy, in my opinion. Ridiculing people who are clearly a bit unhinged can only go so far,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there hasn't been more trying to leave and become Globers.
Well, Seek
At least just giving up the flat.
Yeah, he did, and he kind of turns it around. He's got about 5K subs, but it flattens out, I think. Who else? Ranty, of course, because of the Blackpool thing. I mean, a load of shit. But in Ranty, when he put his stuff up, his first few YouTubes after he had come from the dark side, so to speak, he put up a few things about himself, which I personally, if I had that information on me, I wouldn't have put it out in the public thing. But he had a girlfriend who was a real super control head, narcissistic, really stuck him up, psychologically. And when anyone who's had
Call
that
her what she
experience,
was, a bitch.
yeah, anyone who's had that experience with a narcissist, you don't seem to come out the other side quite the same. And he admitted those things. Then he had a mate die from COVID, who I think he was working with a day before, and quite a lot really happened to Ranty. And I'm sort of, I don't ever think he was a genuine one. We had him on Conspiracy. What is it? Stupidity's Not a Right. Yeah, we Fight the Flat Earth, that little game show he had. And Ranty was on straight after, and he was on our team. It was me and Bray Beaver and Ranty, and against Planet Walk, and I can't remember the other two. I think it might have been Draco Fire and someone. But Fight the Flat Earth, Craig, he kept on throwing up Ranty's clips to reference, and he's you bastards, but he took it on the chin. He really did a good job with it, It was quite cool to have Ranty on our team. I liked it.
Another one that's gone over to the globe is STSD. He's done some really good videos too.
Yeah. Though, every Tom, Dick, and Harry's got a camera now, and there's all this. It's like everyone's got a recording studio and a full-on TV station in there, and the knowledge of the universe at your fingertips. So consequently, we get all these junk TikToks going up, and there's a lot of crap out there, isn't there? A few good ones.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be the way of any new technology. First it goes to porn, and then it goes to idiots.
True.
We're in the idiot stage of the internet these days.
Well, I'm noticing those sob sits, and I honestly don't think that's a big open pool of resources with regards to it. I mean, they're just basically Karens, aren't they? And
my freedoms.
But they're not even doing it correctly. There are a couple who show you that in a serious ass criminal police investigation in the States, if the cops have got you in a place and they're trying to get a confession out of you, they obviously don't have any evidence because they would have already charged you. And so learning that you've just got to sit there and stick to your guns and say, no, I didn't do it, unless you've got a picture of me shooting that person. But they keep locking you in cells for 12 hours. And then you panic and you confess. And then the confession gets used against you. And so that's the thing you've got to know about, your rights, and saying to the cops, I've got to have a lawyer. But these, what's his name, Chili and all those other dickheads, they're just saying, I'm going to go and stand on this driveway because I'm allowed to. It's my American right. And no, it's not. You can be asked to leave a premise at pretty much any time, if the owner doesn't want you there.
Well, didn't you remember the video from Howzit when he went to the four heads of state in Grand Canyon or whatever it was?
Oh,
and he got
Mount
arrested
Rushmore.
there. Yeah, Rushmore. That's
Rushmore.
right. Rushmore. Yes.
Yeah.
That gave me the when I saw that happening and he was being carted off, I had a Monty Python flashback of, the Holy Grail. Come and see the violence inherent in the system.
That's it.
Now, Whitsit's an interesting grifter because the guy could actually make money. He's a fast talker. He could make a great second-hand car salesman, wouldn't he? He could actually do something with his life. Or Lemonbird could be like a great radio voice.
Are you saying a car salesman is making something with your life?
Well, dude, I know some car salesmen that have got a pretty tidy house.
Yeah, but how did you get that house? I mean, seriously.
Well, it depends on what car salesman. I mean, I worked in the motor trade, and our salesman at Yamaha City, I never saw them sell a bike that was full of shit or anything like that. In fact, the dodgy ones you hear about, they're like truckies, mate. The 5% of idiots, the real nasty ones, everybody sees. But the 95% of truckies or car salesmen do sell you a car that doesn't blow up. In fact, you're more than likely going to buy a piece of shit off a private seller than you are off a car yard, because all car yards know how to identify a piece of shit, and if they sell it, they get a bad name. But Joe Trading Post or Joe eBay, he's going to sell that thing that he used to do burnouts in. So you're going to fall on your face more than likely with a big bill with a car you buy privately than with a car that you buy off a car dealer. And of course, it's all transferred. You're not buying something that's hot. Normally. Normally. Sorry to defend
I hate I hate the people who buy a car from the car auctions. I mean, yes, you can get a good car at a car auction, but they're very rare and very hard to find.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it myself.
I used to do roadworthies on cars for car yards and for regular people off the street, trying to get their immaculate BMW to pass a roadworthy. Yeah, right. I'd take one look at it and say, yeah, that's not going to pass at all.
For what reasons, though?
Usually, the obvious stuff is like the crack in the windscreen, or the wiper blades aren't sitting right, or something like that.
Well, yeah, that's normal.
You get that car up on the hoist, and you look at the rust underneath, and the fact that the floor plan is almost non-existent, the fact that it's been leaking fuel for the last 10 years, and the fact that it doesn't run usually is a big tip-off.
Well, firstly, that's not going to be a roadworthy. Who would be booking in a car that doesn't run?
You'd be surprised at how many do. Seriously,
oh, look,
I've done roadworthies on cars that should never have even been sold, let alone bloody tried to get a roadworthy for.
I agree, but again, who's going to try to sell it? Because a car dealer's got to sell it with a roadworthy, at least here in Victoria.
Same in Queensland.
Yeah, there used to be a thing you could say as traded, which meant we're not going to even bother fixing this because it's technically a write-off. But you can't do that now. But I always have
technically, you can sell a car without any roadworthy. Just don't expect it to pass a roadworthy.
Well, if you buy one, you've got to remove the plate. But let's not. That's all the technicalities of it. But I always had this idea of getting some hail damage cars and put bullet hole stickers on them to look real gangster. But now insurance companies, because of the monocoque design of cars, more than 4 dents per square foot, they write the thing off. It's a statutory write-off. It's only for spares. The number is no longer to be registered. And you can bring them in from overseas too, but a lot of them are no longer to be registered.
I've had a few of them up here. Hail damaged cars and flood damaged cars. Flood damaged cars are the worst. They're the ones with the rotten out chassis rails and the bad electrics. But we used to get a lot of them up here, especially after the big floods that we had recently, and the hail damage. Oh crap! When was that? That was. It'd have to be more than 2.5 years ago. But I've seen a lot of crap cars come through our workshop.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few attempts too. Other ones are really obvious ones too. Like one guy came up with a plate that was off the wrong model bike. And it was like, we know this is not an RZ350. It's an RD350. It is not. That is not the correct plate. And as a matter of interest, tie wire is not a good way to stick them on. You've got to at least rivet them to make it a chance. But the problem with someone like that is, it's probably stolen. So,
Yeah, that's one of the first things we used to look at when doing a roadworthy. You're collecting all the information off the car. You look at the rivets in the VIN plate or the engine number. Make sure that it's not been filed down at any stage.
Well, there's
always usually quite obvious.
Yeah, there's always been money in fakes, like even anything like a guitar. In fact, you can't buy Harley Davidson crankcases now unless you return the originals with the number to the factory so they can check that it's not hot. Because what you do is steal one, buy the new crankcases and put your own number on. And so now you can't do that. You've got to, and this is, I don't know if it's legislation or just Harley wanting people to not steal things, but
I would suggest it's probably a Harley thing, but
we used to have a thing at the Yamaha dealerships where when you got a motorbike, it's like liquid paper, that little liquid paper brush thing, but inside of these little dots like ants. And what you do is you splatter this shit around on prominent peaks like inside the hub, and it virtually disappears, but it's called data dot. And when you look at it with this little magnifying glass, there's a number on there. So you put it all over the prominent parts of any motorbikes, and if that bike's stolen, you can know where it's and stripped down. You can find it via the data dot. So
as far as I know, all the car companies have got that happening too.
So data dot's big now, is it? Yeah, well, I was at a
Yeah.
Yamaha dealer up in Queensland at the time, and I said, why don't we sell this on to others? Because it's a great idea. And they just really couldn't be bothered. They just kept it for a Yamaha thing. So I don't know. Yeah, but it has spread, has it? The other
As
thing-
far as I know, I've never actually looked for them myself, but I do know that they exist.
Yeah. Oh, there are some cars now that if you walk out of them, some BMs, I think, they get scared and lock their doors.
Yep.
There's been instances where I think people have got out of their car in the middle of the stick scrub to go and have a piss, and then they've come back in their cars and no, it's because they walked out of range or something. The car, yeah, you got to turn the car off and take the key out. Otherwise, it'll get all panicky and like, I don't know, they didn't think like car folks. But, yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
these cars that don't even have
my
keys.
my car, if you don't, if you take the key out and go to get out of the car, it beeps furiously at you to say you've left something on or, whatever. And it beeps furious at me until I saw whatever problem was, I've left my seatbelt off.
Yeah, there's one if you put a handbag or a laptop on the seat, on the passenger seat, it starts panicking at you, telling you haven't got the safety belt because it thinks there's someone sitting there.
Yep.
Thank you, Carl. I need you to tell me what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's way too many electronics in cars these days. So
Tell
much
me about it.
unnecessary crap.
With the electricity situation in this country, people are getting stuck in and out of their own properties, because you need electricity to operate the electric gate.
Okay.
Yeah. But hang on, don't they have like a manual? So they don't have a manual override?
So I was talking about the middle of fucking nowhere here.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people didn't think that this would happen, so they never gave themselves that out, But now I see a lot of people are putting the battery operated, but there's a even bigger issue with that because the criminals know how to dismantle that motor. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, if you want to know how to do something, ask a criminal.
Yeah, well, actually, that's what I used to say. A kid who's a car thief is probably a very good motor mechanic, potentially, because he knows how to work under pressure. He's got mechanical aptitude, and he can probably generally drive very well. So, yeah, great apprentice mechanic. He's just on the wrong life path.
That maybe explains why I ended up being a mechanic.
Yeah.
That and the fact that my brother-in-law ran a mechanics workshop.
I found it enjoyable. I always, like at home, there was always an old lawnmower or something out the back and spanners. And so I'd go out there. And my older brother of about 8 years older was a bit of a tear-ass and a bit of a larrikin, getting into trouble and in and out of juvie. So our parents were extra helicopterer on us. So I used to pull apart a lot of things at home. And, yeah, it was kind of good fun. And I had a Meccano set when I was really young too, which I think is probably one of the best things a kid can have.
Yep.
Yeah, I never had one of those. I always had Lego.
I had the metal version.
I desperately wanted a Meccano set.
And the other thing is that when I was a kid, sorry, Sal, I can't hear sometimes.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying I never had toys when I was growing up.
You know what we also used to do as kids, and it's only just come back in now. Coca-Cola bottles used to have 5 cents deposit on each one. So you go out and get some Coke bottles and go and play the pinball machine for 10 cents. So two Coke bottles equals one game. We have now just reintroduced the deposit on bottles thing, which you guys had in South Oz, I think. And does it happen in Queensland? And it's a good thing for kids. You know what I mean? Like they can actually make a bit of pocket money and earn to learn.
I remember buying my first packet of smokes by returning a whole heap of bottles.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course, that was the first packet of smokes that I actually bought. I won't tell you about how many I stole and sold to the kids on the school oval. But But yeah, I remember buying my first legitimate packet of smokes with bottles that I'd scrounged up from around the place, and yeah.
So, Sal, you're
cans
back.
and stuff like that. We were always picking up cans whenever we went anywhere. You'd be driving along on the highway, and suddenly my nana, who was driving, would slam on the brakes and says, "Hey, over there, go get that one." And you'd race out, and you'd find the blue top can, or the gold top if it was a beer can at the time. And you'd have an extra 5 cents in the boot of the car.
Yeah.
And quite often when we were going to visit my grandmother in Kimber, on the way we'd stop and pick all the wild peaches from the trees nearby, and you'd pick up the cans as well, and that would almost pay for the fuel at the time, because it's like a hour and a half type drive or something to Kimber from Whyalla.
I've got about $100 worth sitting in the corner of my kitchen, but I haven't had my car, so that's like a big issue. Oh, it's all fixed now. But
what happened? Did you crash it?
No, I did not. Thank you.
Too many burnouts. Yeah, you took it.
No, that's the dudes. That's the dudes on the other side of the road. Yeah.
Right. So what happened? Did it have a bit of a breakdown?
No, the battery kept draining, and it was just ridiculous. I bought 2 brand new batteries, well, I didn't, I got one on warranty, obviously, because within 2 months, and it was ridiculous. And every
now
single,
it's the Auto Leckies, is it?
It's not anymore. I've got it back, but there's still they still have to program the key. So I've got to do that.
But so it did have a charging like a dodgy alternator or something, or
no, it.
You had a
they did my starter motor, and they removed all of the wiring from the alarm. They removed all the fucking wires and shit out that went to the alarm, because when the alarm went off in the middle of the fucking night, and I just called the RAA and said, just shut the fucking thing up, he only pulled the bit that made the noise. So the other one was doing, still pulling power. Yep. And I'm like, so this guy had no fucking idea what he was talking about. So the next guy come out, your interior light has been on, and pulling patch. And I fucking knew that I did not have my interior light on, but I let it slide, no problem. I went out there. What car you got? It's a Suzuki Swift. Yeah, so I got out there. I made sure 2005. I made sure everything was turned off. There was nothing in there that was not turned off. The fucking lights out in the back, everything. There was not, and it drained. Mm-hmm. And I said, there is only one thing that I see can be draining it, and that is the fucking immobilizer or the central locking. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, was it a standard Suzuki alarm, or was it an accessory fitted one?
It's that this one. It was an aftermarket
one.
Aftermarket. No. The alarm was aftermarket. Yeah. The rest were
badly
all
installed. Yeah, that happens a lot because the instructions aren't really that clear. They kind of put them in for a one size fits all, and unless there's little bits and pieces on different cars to go for. That's bitten me and my brother a couple of times with that one, where you you don't know exactly what wires because they just don't give out that much technical information. So sometimes you do have to wing it. But the guys who came and just fixed it to get a call up, they're just those roadside mechanics aren't exactly they're roadside for a reason.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. They're technically not mechanics.
but
At least most of them aren't.
Yeah,
I got they came out at least 4 times to jump my car because I just can't do that. Because one guy's saying, "Oh, you should go and buy a bloody, I don't know what it's called, a trickle charger."
Trickle charger. Yep.
Yeah, and it's like, I take your battery out each night and hook it up to this, and then you can drive the next day, no problem.
what
Yeah,
the
my HK used to have a trickle charger built in.
Right. Well, that's fantastic, but I'm like fucking less than 40 fucking kilos. Okay. I'm a little fucking tiny person.
Yeah,
And he's suggesting I pull the fucking thing out of my car each night, and I just went, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Well, technically, you don't need to pull it out of the car. You can actually plug it in from an extension cord. But yeah, it's not an ideal fix. It's a
like literally.
No, hang on. A trickle charger is designed for your vintage car or your motorbike that you ride once every 3 months. You leave it on a trickle charger so it doesn't go down. To advise you that means the guy is a dead set fucking idiot. He shouldn't have even gone down that path. He's talking through his ass and telling your customer to pull the battery out every night. I mean, Jesus, what does he think you're an auto enthusiast? That's just like, oh my God, that's not even a bad mechanic. That's just an idiot. But they get the money for a service call. All they do is jumpstart your car and hope it goes on its way. They're never going to fix it on the side of the road anyway. Even a qualified mechanic can't fix your gearbox or whatever. He needs a workshop to do it in. So I think they're only really good for a tow. That's the main thing. If your car breaks down or you have an accident, you hit a roo, you can at least get towed to a repair shop. That's probably all they're useful for.
A tow and a bit of fuel and a spare battery to jumpstart you with. That's all they need because that's all they can deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them do know how to pick locks and stuff, but I'd suggest most of them couldn't even do that.
Yeah, smash your back window is probably the lockpick of those guys, isn't it?
No, I've had some really good guys that have got into got into the car without having to smash any windows or anything. So they are my heroes, though. But when that happens,
my nephew was a RACQ call out guy for a while, and he was absolutely appalled because he's a technically he is actually a mechanic now, but he was an apprentice at the time, and he was seeing stuff that no sane mechanic would even attempt, simply because that's all they're paid for. Get them moving again. Once they're moving, it's their problem.
It's actually more nowadays. It's covering your ass. Like in the older day, like I've even said to spares salesmen, don't tell customers to put in the brake pads themselves or whatever, because that works on the supposition that the person's qualified and knows how to do it. And yet there's, probably 20 things you can do wrong. And when it comes to brakes, you don't really want to fuck it up, because if there's a failure, it's generally when you don't want to, sort of have a failure. So always got to look at the risk reward thing, haven't you?
I actually had a backpacker lady come in with a pair of brakes, asking us to help show her how to fit them. She didn't want us to do it. She wanted to do it herself. And so I said, yeah, sure, fine, not a problem. I'll even lend you my tools if you want. Here's a jack, and jacked up the car for her and showed her what she had to do. And she was competent enough to be able to do it, but if she hadn't have had me there to tell her how to do it exactly, she would have put them in ass about tit or on the wrong side or something like that.
I don't understand the point. You actually helped her do a job, therefore didn't get money that you could have got.
I got
a carton
of beer out of that.
Hey?
I got a carton of beer out of that.
But why didn't you just book it in as a job? If you're a mechanic in a workshop, why didn't you just say, we'll do it and charge you? I don't know. Why would you do that?
Because she didn't have $300 to throw at a car that was worth about $200.
but brake pads is a $50 job.
No,
I
it's
would do
not.
pads for probably, four
Not-
pads?
Not if it's done properly. Not if it's done properly.
Oh, dude, I'm a mechanic. It is done properly. All you do is G-clamp them back and screw them back, and you do it, tighten the bolts up off the caliper carrier. Brake pads are not a big job.
So
But I'm
you're
just
not
saying-
talking about machining the rotors or replacing the rotors, or
Well, in that case, you wouldn't get a customer to do it. So you got a
full
customer to
inspection of
see
all
how
the
this
hoses
doesn't
and stuff.
this doesn't add up, mate, because you got the customer to machine the discs too. That
No.
usually takes.
She didn't.
Oh, so you didn't machine the discs. So what's that
No.
got to do? So you got her to do it when you could have made it a job. That's what I just don't kind of understand. If you're a workshop, why
I
aren't
was
you
busy
booking
at the
it
time.
in? Hey?
I was busy at the time. I think at the
Okay.
time I was actually rebuilding an engine.
Yeah. But you need a
I didn't
hoist.
have the
What? So
time
she
to be
did
able
it
to do
without
it.
a hoist.
But she wasn't going to let us do it anyway because she didn't have the 300 and something odd bucks that it was going to cost to get it done. And she'd already bought the brake pads. And
Yeah.
one thing that our workshop would never do was use parts bought by a customer.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, because we don't know where they come from. We can't guarantee them. All we can guarantee is our work. And if those brake pads fail, our work gets called into question, and we will not risk our reputation on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just I like I said, I don't mind helping people out. If she had to come at the end of the work day, as I was shutting up shop or something like that, I would have gotten out there and done it for her. You know, just to be helpful for somebody. That's just the way I am. But she wouldn't let me do it at all. She wanted advice, and that's what I gave her. And as far as I'm concerned, knowledge is power, and it shouldn't cost you anything. If somebody's willing to ask, how does this work? I will tell you how it works to the best of my knowledge. And I will not charge you a cent for it. But that's just me.
Are you still working in the trade? Rhetorically? Rhetorical question.
Depends on what you call working for the trade, because a neighbour just down the road from me was doing a fuel pump in his, is it Bravo or the Ford version? Well, anyway, one of those. And he came and asked for advice, and I went down there and pointed out a few things that he needed to do and how to do it more efficiently than the way he was trying to do it. Again, I don't charge people for information like that. If somebody's got the balls to ask me how to do something, I will tell them. Hell, if I wasn't in such bad shape, I would have gotten in there and helped him, to tell you the truth. I miss being able to get on the tools.
Oh,
Are
I'm a
you
little bit
eating
that.
bloody biscuits again?
Yeah,
No,
who is that?
I'm getting tobacco out of my pouch.
Oh, is that all the crackly noises? There's
Yeah,
the
that
guy
was
that does a
me.
live stream, and when
Bobby's
he's done
chippies.
his wrap up, he
Bobby
rolls
has
up and
also
calls
got his chippies crackling away here. Now he's extra doing it.
You're
Yeah.
all heathens.
mutage.
Well, we have to put up with your bubble sound, so there you go.
What's the bubble sound?
Okay, so guys, did you know, coming back to refuting the flat earth, because, you know, that's what I'm all about.
Mm-hmm.
But like we in the southern hemisphere cannot see Polaris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
From
I
where
already
we
bought
are,
this one earlier.
yeah.
I said I already bought that one up earlier. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I do lots and lots of observations for the Southern Stars, Crux, and Alpha Centauri, right? So even though we can't see Polaris,
Yeah.
because it is almost a pole star. We don't have a pole star. We have sort of like, we can't see a star in that spot, which would be the pole. Now, I have gone and checked for Australia and for my location and for South America and for North America. There are certain locations where at certain altitudes you can see parts of Crux and Alpha Centauri. And I've brought this up in videos, and no Plurf has answered yet.
Well, the Crux, the Southern Cross. That's what's the same thing, isn't it?
To the best of my knowledge,
Crux, yes, it's just
So,
colloquially
if you
known
look
as
up-
the Southern Cross.
Now, if you look
it
up,
looks
I
like
don't know if this is in Australia. This applies, and I guess it does for the other southern hemispheres. But there's two of the stars in the Southern Cross. I think it's the one to the left as you're looking at it, middle left and the lower one. If you draw a line from them straight down, where that intersects the horizon, I think is due south. However, I've never navigated my way out of trouble on that, so I don't know. But there's definitely two stars of the Crux that point downward. But I believe in the US, where it's only a little bit above the equator, they can't see it for 6 months of the year, I think. But they can see the Southern Cross for a few months. I'm not sure about that.
And it's very, very close to the horizon. And the further north you go, the lower and lower it gets. But it's not like Polaris, where immediately south of the equator you cannot see it. Polaris,
Yeah,
immediately south of the equator, we cannot see it.
Uh-huh.
How
in
do
fact,
they
if
even
you go onto
explain that they,
if you go onto Google Earth,
go ahead.
what happens is, hang on, I'm just turning off a few of my screens here. If you go onto Google Earth, when you open it up, there's you get your picture of the Earth that you can zoom into and whatever. If you go up the top, about halfway along the little bars, there's a switch between Earth and sky mode and planets. It's like a little yellow Saturn. It's a planet, with a Saturn ring on it. When you click on that, it turns around and faces out into space. You can zoom in anywhere. Now, I don't know how new it is, but with the James Webb Telescope,
It's been around for a while.
Well, I know the one on Google Earth has been, so it's probably dated. But with the James Webb going up, we're going to have some amazing things to look at. Like, I mean, that's been. Have you seen what's coming lately? I've had such a space bone the last few months, just on the James Webb stuff.
That's pretty cool shit, eh?
Yeah. I feel
it's all fake. It's all CGI. CGI.
but we live in such fantastic times to be able to turn around and you can actually go on Google Earth to Mars, and you'll go to Mars and go, great, it looks like the middle of Australia and it's desert.
But Google Earth is the flat Earth map of choice.
Yes. Well, Mars is a planet now entirely inhabited by robots. So there you go. But
the only planet in the solar system that's entirely inhabited by robots. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, but going out on Google Earth, I honestly think probably better than 50% of the Google Earth users have never clicked on this Earth star sky. And you can go to whatever you want to go and look at the Big Dipper. Yeah, that's one we call the Big Dipper. What do they call in the US? Is that Orion?
No, I don't know what the Big Dipper is. What is it? Is it Orion? Fucking Rigel and Betelgeuse.
It's upside down. But it's
I'm
upside
not
down.
calling it the Big Dipper. I refuse to call it the Big Dipper. And I'm actually angry at Google, because when they draw our maps, our street maps, Google Street View, it's fucking upside down. It's fucking upside down. And I must turn the whole map around on the screen to make it right way. What the hell is up with that, Google?
Bloody Northerners.
No,
fucking Northerners. What makes you so special?
No, you've made it flat Earth. If you're upside down, that means the Earth is flat. Oh my God, I feel so embarrassed. Oh, all the flat earthers were right. Oh dear. I hope our new Lord and Savior Nathan Oakley is a benevolent leader. Oh my
Oh
God.
God,
Fuck
never.
no.
Can you imagine going in? Oh, I've done this with some flat earthers, going in and saying, "Did you hear about what happened today? God came down and said, yep, I exist and the earth is flat." And he's doing a tour. Everyone, you'll get word. So, what are you going to do now? The earth's flat. Are we going to, you're going to be a teacher, or like, how do you feel? And they don't know where to go with it. Like, they kind of, oh, I never thought of this. I gave it to Democ, and he was just like, duh. But then Democ's always like that. I
Yeah.
do have a
There's
question for
something
you,
wrong
Sal.
with that laser.
Yeah. I have a
Face is
question.
fake.
It's geology based, but we have a guy here called Oz Geographics. He does really good stuff on volcanoes and tsunamis and all this sort of stuff. And apparently there was a big meteor hit the planet about 10,000 years ago over near Madagascar. And it sent this giant, huge motherfucker of a tidal wave, something like 300 feet, and it hit South African coast. It hit Madagascar and the bottom of South Africa, the east coast. Now, I would like to know if you know of anyone out there that can get him some happy snaps of where, because this tsunami was massive. It did huge damage, and there are still visible scarring on the land of it. And I'm wondering, do you know anyone who lives out on the east coast who could go and get us some snaps?
I fucking don't
Yeah.
even know anybody that's willing to come and study these rocks where I live. I live on
Oh, okay.
2 billion-year-old land. And all I hear about is the fucking Grand Canyon. All the geologists want to study the Grand Canyon. When we have thousands and thousands of other formations. Don't make me mad, man. I don't even know where to find the information of when this craton even started uplifting. Because the Pangea only started breaking up 225 million years ago. What was going on for the other 175, you know, 1.75
Pangea wasn't the
billion?
first megacontinent.
Yes, I know that, but there's no information about this area where I live. And they love to study the Karoo because the Karoo is like, it was sort of like a coastal area in the beginnings of, you know, Pangea breaking up. So, you know, dinosaurs and all those other weird animals that lived back then were closer to the coastlines. And not much were inside, you know, inland. So I'm trying to find information of what kind of animals would have been living, you know, maybe 100 million years ago, because I want to be as generous to myself as possible, considering when multicellular life
I can
took
give you a little
over.
bit on that one, Sal, because the K2 event happened. Oh, by the way, since we had all the flooding, you can go out to the K2 line and you can actually pull out little bits of what look like arc weld. And they're rocks from the original blow up.
Wonderful. I mean, I don't know why I didn't think of that.
You can set them in resin.
Why didn't I think of going there? Nobody even tells you. There's no information on where the line starts and what happened next, and like how you get with the Grand Canyon.
Oh, well, I don't know about the Grand Canyon.
Information about the groups, because South Africa is one giant mountain. It starts off at sea level and climbs all the way to more than 3,000 kilometers above sea level. 3,000 meters. 3,000 meters above sea level.
Of Pangea, something I only came up recently was Australia itself, because we have all the marsupials and pouch animals. Australia was one of the continents to first separate from the rest. Hence, we had dinosaurs, and that was about 55 million years. So for 10 million years after the dinosaurs, Australia was still connected to the main Pangea. Now, we then all started splitting off, and we were one of the first, hence we have the non-placental mammals, whereas the rest of the world, the continents do have, because basically marsupials are stupid. They have one bit of their geological brain missing, whereas most other animals like rats and mice and cats and dogs are smarter. You know, like if you ever met a kangaroo, mate, they aren't real bright. the thing there is we separated first, and that's why we have all these unique little critters. We also had huge possums and things like that, but it's a lot of luck. But it was about 55 million years ago that Australia separated, and it was one of the first. So all of the other continents separated after, closer to us now than 55 million years. So in the 65 was the K2 event. So did that sort of
But
answer
there
your
were
question
other
about
animals living and dying for almost 100 million years before that. And that's what I'm interested in.
Oh, that's Cretaceous period. What you're looking at is there's the Jurassic, the Triassic, and the Cretaceous, which are all known as the Megalith something or other era. So Cretaceous
Sounds
was
about
the
right.
last of the dinosaurs. Jurassic Park should have been Cretaceous Park, but they didn't name it correctly. So the last dinosaur was Cretaceous era. That's the more famous ones. Prior to that, there was there a mass extinction of some kind?
There
We've
were
had 5
5
major extinction
altogether.
events.
There were 5 mass extinctions on the earth since.
Yeah. So I'm
Well,
not sure about that,
since,
but 100 million years ago, that's kind of early Cretaceous, but it was still dinosaurs and the big mega lizards, lizardy type things
yes,
for probably
I
100,000 before
understand
that.
this, Boomer. I don't know why
Sorry,
you're
100 million.
explaining it to me as if I don't understand. I get that part. That's the
Yeah.
part I get. The part that I don't get is where is all that geologic and fossil information?
Where is it? Well,
Extensive. No,
Nobody's
I'm looking.
bothered to go out there and find it.
Yes, nobody's bothered to go out there and find it because everyone does their thesis on the Grand Canyon. Even the South African guy that I was following here, he's gone over to the United States to study something else somewhere else.
Well, I don't know what to say there because there's Alberta in Canada, which is the far right of Canada. That's Albertosaurus. They've done a lot of digging there. They've also done a lot of digging in China where they found all the furry and feathery dinosaurs. And also just here in Queensland, we've had some, because most of it's been laid over. It's 2 meters down. We just didn't find the bones. But yeah, we do have paleontologists out there doing things. So it's not like there's no information. Maybe, do you look up paleontology sites on the
Did
internet?
you hear yourself? Did you hear yourself? You said Canada, China, and somewhere else.
Australia,
I am
yeah.
in South Africa, Uma. I'm in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I need more information on that because South Africa.
Well, what do you want?
has
Better electricity or scientists to go out and look at rocks for you?
scientists don't make electricity. What do you mean? We can have both.
Well, not with the way your power's going.
Yeah.
Think about it. They're spending all this money trying to get your power to go good and not working. Where's that money better off being spent?
No, they're not even spending it on the power. Thanks for bringing that up. The money is disappearing offshore.
Yeah.
So
But
the
that's
money
what
is
I'm
not
saying,
even
mate.
staying in the country.
You don't,
And
you don't
we have
have the money
a different
for it.
financial problem to other countries. Basically, what happens here are foreigners come here to have temporary jobs. And while they are working, they send at least 80 to 90% of their salary home. And home is a different country like Malawi or Ghana or Zambia or Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, whatever. And what happens is that currency goes out of the country, but nothing productive comes in. And that also hurts our economy badly. Not only are the top guys, involved in making funds disappear, even just the normal folk just working and sending money home, which is a fairly innocent thing to do, is affecting the economy.
Yeah.
So you've got more money going out and not enough productivity, entering the economy to turn that wheel. You're not going to achieve much. So I do understand how everything works, but scientists don't make electricity. The coal and the power stations. We've already figured out how to do the electricity. We don't need, to reinvent the wheel. We need people to just maintain everything.
But, well, okay, for my mind, like my brother who lives 20 minutes from me out in Western Victoria, he's been off the grid now for 12 years. So what about solar and a small generation system as a backup?
Can I
So when
burst
your
that
mains
bubble
are
for you also, Boomer? I love you to death, Boomer, but all the solutions
waiting
that
for
you are
this.
bringing up already has holes. It will probably put a colander to shame, not even a serve. Okay,
Why are there so many holes
because
in it,
now
though?
they want to they want us to pay a solar tax. And if you have a borehole, you must pay a water tax. No, I cannot let somebody charge me to use the sun, which nobody owns. And the person who invented the technology or the equipment that I'm going to use to harness this energy, that person is already getting his reparations. He's already getting his money for providing that service when I pay him for his equipment. I don't need to pay the government to use the sun as a source of energy. Whichever motherfucker came up with that idea can go fly, jump off a fucking bridge or something.
But the other option is you've got to pay top dollar for electricity, which has it's got to be made by coal or hydro or whatever. So I don't know, like, as much as I do hate to admit it, a lot of people are saying nuclear is an option. And in my baby boomer thinking, it's not, because I'm just conditioned to hate nuclear power. So
in my country, even though we are having load shedding, we've had more than half of the last year in load shedding in hours, in percentage time. And what did we find out? It doesn't work, Boomer. It's not going to work when everybody is stealing the money for themselves and there's nothing left to do anything with. That's what you don't understand. All the solutions are there. We have 2 nuclear power plants that were supposed to be up and running more than 5 years ago, and they're still fixing it. I mean, they tried to poison the CEO of Eskom. There was so much sabotage, Boomer. We were shocked. And I'm surprised they didn't burn this country down, because that's the type of thing that one should burn things down for. When you find out that in the background, you are being stabbed in the back while you are being told everything is under control. While when we look behind you, everything is on fire. If you can understand, yes, Boomer, you have all the solutions in your head, but none of those solutions are applicable here because the money is already gone.
Well, no, what I don't see, though, you said there's a solar tax. So if you install panels and a battery backup system, load shedding is no longer a problem because you've always got your backup solar panel. Now, although you pay that solar tax, you're still not paying for the electricity, the mains coming in, other than the mains you use when it's not load shedded or whatever. So what I was saying is, although you're paying that tax for that, okay, I don't know what the charge is and why it's set up that way, but to me, it still makes more sense to use the solar system because of the fact that
why does it make sense to you to pay more tax, Boomer? Why does it make sense to you to pay more tax on something that doesn't deserve a tax, Boomer? We are talking about South Africa, poor people. Are you kidding me, Boomer? No, you can't tax them even more.
So the tax is more than actually just getting your mains. It's an unreliable source.
Bobby just told me. This property has 55 solar panels, 500 solar panels running this whole entire place. If they implement that tax, this property would have to pay 1.5 million a year.
Well,
because
that's
it
obvious.
goes according to how many panels you got.
Yeah, okay. So if you don't use that and you use mains power, what would the power bill be? This is the bit I can't understand.
150,000 times 12. I'll tell you how much it is per year.
That's over
And
a
still,
mil anyway.
remember, this is the sun we are talking about. No matter how you cut it, people don't want to give the government their money. It's 150,000 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
For the hard work. They must sweat off the brow, and that fucker goes on holiday to a 21,000 rand a night room.
Oh, yeah, look, I understand what you're saying, but more or less what I was getting at was
that's 1.8 million.
The load shedding itself must be an amazingly crap thing because, like, I mean, your food goes off, your refrigeration doesn't work.
Yeah, so apparently she was eating expensive seafood and stuff, Boomer. And you know who she was the minister of? She was the minister of the poor people. She was the minister who gives the people, you know, their child support grant and their disability grant and their, you know, their pension, you know, their old age pension. That's the people she was involved, you know, in charge of making their lives better. And that's what she was doing. You know, so we have all these issues, Boomer. So if you think we haven't thought of a solution, we have. But in the real world, we are up against a tidal force because 99.9% of the guys on the top are stealing the money. And that trickles down to the little guy, to the guy at grassroots level who's struggling to even find a peace job for the day to look after his family. You know, give his family a plate of food so they don't go to bed hungry at night. And even that must become a struggle. No, it's enough.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, well,
and sorry, for countries who don't experience that and are listening to the stream, yes, in South Africa, if you come to South Africa, you hear people say, South Africa is so beautiful. The people are so nice. Yes. More often than not, the people will be friendly to you. But in the background, there are so many things being done that the people just get more and more hurt. And it's not nice when people only come to see the nice parts of South Africa and ignore all the rest. Like, you can't be a tourist and go to Pretoria town. You will be disgusted. You will think like maybe you entered a slum. But that is the capital of South Africa. Foreigner, homeless people are on the streets of Pretoria town. You know, so we are facing way too many issues. Sorry, did I go off on a tangent? I just want people to know that even though you say this, that, and the other, we have thought about it, and it fails because of the money.
That's why I went quiet when you started talking.
Well, Carl mentioned the power cuts. Carl Edwards mentioned the power cuts last night on Steaming's stream too, because he reckons it's been getting pretty bad of late. Is that true? The power cuts have been getting more frequent and really annoying.
It's not getting pretty bad. They are even lying to us. We are, as I said just now, we've had more than 60% of the time on load shedding without electricity. And excuse me, we keep hearing, oh, this substation blew up, that substation was rained out, the coal is wet because it was raining. We hear so many excuses. Apparently Eskom is in like hundreds of billions of rands in debt. How does a giant company that is supposed to service an entire country become so many hundreds of billions of rands in debt? Why? If a normal business did that, they would be liquidated and, you know, shunned out of business a long time ago. Yet these guys just get boost after boost after boost after interest rate hike after interest rate after, you know, tariff hike. I think just recently it went up again by 19%. And all the top guys end up giving themselves bonuses for job undone.
Yep.
So
It sounds like
tell
everywhere.
me, guys, how do we find solutions when you're getting it from all angles? I might as well just be on the internet and rant with my friends.
I've got an idea. Why don't you come over here to Australia and join us? We'll look after you. We got plenty of power here.
Yeah, your money is great. My pet seems to be
Wow.
having a nice time, even though, I mean, my pets. But, I mean, things are not hard. There are some hard things, like the housing in your country is a little bit psycho. I've never heard of fucking paying rent every second week. Whose dumb fuck idea was that? And when I convert
pay
it
it
into
weekly.
my money, I can afford a mansion with that money. So, yeah, like maybe a 10-bedroom on a 10-acre plot. If I pay 24,000 rand a month, I can even buy a Porsche with that money, pay my installment per month. And that's what average housing costs there. And the senior citizens are struggling, the younger ones are struggling. The healthcare system is decrepit, to say the best. Yeah, but your money is grand, I must say. At least your money has
Actually, no,
value.
Our healthcare is acknowledged as pretty much one of the best in the world. In fact, I think we're only behind Sweden or Norway
Yeah.
with regards to healthcare.
I
Maybe Canada and
have-
Sweden.
Can you send me pets to that best health facility that you are talking about, Boomer?
What do you mean?
Give her
I
the
don't
address and I'll give her the money to go there.
Tell her to shut up.
I'm not going to shut up. There's no way I'm sugarcoating anything for anyone anymore.
I get asthma puffers for $4 a throw, when in America they pay $175 for the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with, and even our dental cover, although I don't think anyone's got the best dental cover in the world. Yeah, most of us here are sort of, in fact, if 2 governments ago, if we had got in, they were going to implement a huge healthcare thing because they realise healthcare is a long-term investment. But we've got rid of all of our corrupt governments, finally. We've only got one hanging on.
On the mainland, at least.
Yeah, but I mean, we had a joint called Gambling Australia in New South Wales that were laundering money for the mob. Like, gambling and laundering money, and this is a government official. Like, holy fuck, that's...
Yeah, that is... I mean, did that person get fired, Boomer? Like, immediately? No.
No, they're still doing it. They firebombed Friendly Geordie's house. One guy tried to whistle blow and he got harassed out of it. No, we've got rid of him now. It's going to go to court. It's coming up now. But our corruption we're nowhere near the big leagues with corruption. Ours is only small kid
The
stuff.
big league in corruption is the ANC. And I won't talk about other countries. I'll talk about my country alone. They literally sold all our resources, South African resources and entities, state-owned entities, to a foreign person. Well, family. One family from India. And it makes me even embarrassed to say that I'm an Indian of what these people did and how those people, the Guptas, and I'll say their name out loud, they destroyed my country from the inside with money and greed and power. They put people in power to destroy those entities. I mean, we had South African Airways. We were like top class, flying all over the world. Now, I think that whole company was liquidated and then started. Parts of it was sold to foreign airlines. It's not even a South African, or should I say, a proudly South African product anymore. It's broken. It was destroyed by these people who were allowed in by the ANC. And specifically, Jacob Zuma. And all of them just reap the rewards of just taking over everything. And instead of using the money to make all those companies better, they stole the money and collapsed those companies. You go ask anybody about AutoNet or RailNet or Transnet. You won't find those companies anymore.
I'm going to have to head off, guys, because my dinner is about to be nice and warm. So if you're still on a bit later, I might
What's for dinner before you go?
Hey?
What's for dinner?
Oh, I just had a roast cooking, a roast leg.
Oh, nice. So the place
I know.
absolutely smells.
Yeah, I
yummy.
do it slow, so it gets a real nice, what's that sort of, just slower. Yeah, it's nicer. And I rub it with basically what is KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken spices.
Yeah.
So that gets into the gravy and on the outside, and it's just yummy. So, yeah, and all the usual stuff. And then I make 3 meals out of it and freeze 2 and eat 1 and put the other 2 in and have those during the week. So, yeah.
Perfect.
It's
nice.
I'll catch up
Brilliant
with you
idea.
through the week, Boomer.
Yep. Yeah, no worries.
catch up
I'll
with you.
catch up with you, Miff. I just don't get on Discord that much. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, been a pleasure talking to you. See you, Mr. My Mum
Thanks,
and Mr.
Boomer.
Peter.
Love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. See
See
you
ya.
guys.
Bye. And
I'm
I've
stuck
just
with the
gotta
girls
work
again.
out.
Yay.
No, seriously, I'm going to have to go because it's
All right.
past
All
my
the
drug time.
Australians. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Way down
We're a
there,
bunch of
upside
pikers, are we?
down.
Yeah, we are. We're just pikers.
Please don't let the
Nah.
blood rush to your heads, guys. You know, considering you're upside down and all.
Well, shit, I
upside
better
down
not
too,
tell
baby.
you what I did today. Oh, yesterday or whenever it was. Oh, I can't
What?
even find the right. Hey?
What did you say? What did you do yesterday?
I didn't do anything yesterday. Oh, no, I did.
You were with us.
Well, no, actually, I didn't. Yeah, I was with you because I didn't end up going to the kids.
Okay, guys, we can call it quits and carry on some other time if you wanna. I can always jump into your channel if you guys have StreamYard.
Or you could always just visit me in Discord.
Oh, no problem.
I'm
We'll
always
catch
there.
up
Well,
soon then.
mostly always there.
All right then.
All right.
But I can always send a DM. What? This is the video I was talking about before you guys go. Can you see? It's starting off like sort of and then going in that pattern. So
Amazing.
why would a flat earth do something like that? You know,
I don't
questions like these need answers, damn it.
But they don't answer. They obfuscate. They dodge. They avoid. They don't answer direct questions. You know that.
Good luck getting a straight
Yeah.
answer out of a flirt. Yeah.
All right, my lovelies.
So, guys,
Take it easy.
have a great time
All
today
right.
in Australia. I will enjoy my afternoon here. I'm actually going out to film clouds now. I'll catch you
All right.
guys later.
Gotcha.
Bye,
worries.
crocodile.